Yo. Oh, sick. I hear you. Humongous L. Absolutely massive L. Perhaps not the most insane L of the past, call it 15 hours, though.
Did that fix it? All right, we're back. We're so back. You know what's great is that you were not muted, so people could hear you talking about my L. We're gonna
Oh,
witness
no,
some
you
L's.
didn't take an L. You didn't take an L.
I took an L like 29 hours ago.
Yeah, and then you took an L on the microphone like 70 seconds ago. But other than that, it's been smooth sailing.
Whoa. No spoilers. No spoilers. Shiny Ladian is here. We can finally start the stream, everybody. Shiny Ladian, thank you for being here at the agreed upon time. We have a lot to go over.
Always nice to run into Shiny Ledian in chat and not in Showdown.
Yeah. It's usually a little bit of both. Fortunately, I don't think we're going to be jumping on the ladder today, so I think I am safe. I think I am mostly safe from Shiny Ladian for the time being. But what are we here to talk about?
I thought they all say before it happens.
We are here to talk about Emerald Open. This is a draft format. Some of you who watched some of my recent streams, maybe you caught us doing kind of like a fun draft, an OSU Melee draft with friends, 8 of us. I crashed out horribly, went 0-2 in our friend draft. I went Skarmbliss, tried to go Superman. Apparently, for people that actually play like Gen 3 draft, Superman is like a common bait, and it's not actually a thing. Don't do it, apparently. Well, now they tell me. I didn't know. And I played like ass and felt very bad about myself. And then I realized, oh my god, I signed up for this like actual tournament, like this Emerald Open with like 300 freaking people, and you're drafting, and then there's like pools, and I got to face like 4 separate people. And going into this, I was mostly completely defeated. I was thinking, I don't know if this is for me. Maybe I got to get back on the ladder. I got to keep perfecting Zet's hyper offense. But fortunately, I had my buddy, my coach Benji, with me, and you really helped me through a lot of the building and the game planning, the prepping, but not really the drafting as much, if I recall. I'm trying to remember because I was talking to a couple different people during the drafting portion, and do you remember
my recollection of drafting is that it went like you would ask me something, I'm at work, and so I just don't answer. And then I say something, and you're like, cool, that's exactly what HCLAT said. And I'm like, all right, cool, listen to HCLAT.
I usually do try to listen to HCLAT, and there were a few times in this where I did, in fact, listen to HCLAT. What we're going to do today is we're going to take a look at the draft, and I keep covering up my chat on accident. Shiny Ladian says, if I believe in myself, anything is possible. Tech Moon saying, good luck today's Zets. Tech Moon, I appreciate it. All of my pools are done. We're going to be reviewing the matches that already occurred to find out if I did, in fact, make it out of pools at Emerald Open 5. But we're going to start by looking at the draft.
Not an easy pool.
The pool was kind of crazy. We'll take a look. But I got an insane draft, and we're going to try to understand how the hell this happened as soon as I can find it. Here we go. Try to make this a little bigger for the fans at home. If you guys can see this, this is the draft like in order. So there's 8 of us, and it's snake drafting, this format. I love this format, by the way. Shiny Ladian watched one of my replays. No spoilers. So basically, I was 5th in the draft order. It goes Sin, Narth, John, Amon, Raska, me, Girthlord MD, Throbbing Johnson 42069, and then my buddy Woke Fox from the OSU Melee chat. He was also in my pool along with McMuffin. So Raiko, Metagross, Salamence, Snorlax all went pretty standard. I took T-Tar, I see people putting T-Tar like a tail end of like their top fives. It felt right. It felt like, you know, I tried to push myself out of my comfort zone with like the mock draft that we did with our friends, and it didn't work. So I'm like, let me lean more into something that I'm a bit more comfortable with. And I just took Tyranitar. He was originally on the Zets Hyper Offense version 1.0. Shouts to anybody who actually remembers that far back. Arrow goes, Zap goes. Wokefox gets Zapdos Celebi. So crazy. Love that.
So fast. Arrow so early in the draft. Jeez, I can't believe that.
Yeah. So what did you think of? To you, is this Arrow 6th? Is that the most like surprising round 1 pick to you, Benji?
I mean, I guess looking at it, I'm surprised it goes ahead of Celebi and Zapdos.
Sure.
That's to some degree. I think Starmie and Arrow are kind of similar. Although I like Starmie better because it's a little bit more versatile.
True.
But like,
absolutely.
Yeah, this is. I guess it's not insane. It's just like maybe 2 or 3 picks before I was expecting it.
Fair. Well, our buddy Wokefox takes advantage of that. He gets Zapdos. McMuffin on the turnaround gets both Skarm and Starmie. And I like that core for them. Leaving Celebi for Wokefox, though, and there were some people in one of the Discord servers I was in recently talking about how Celebi is like insane and probably should go way higher some of the time. Woke gets that, Registeel, and then Swampert falls to me. You know, I felt like you take a defensive backbone. A lot of people advised me to just take Swampert here. It goes really well with Tyranitar. So I grabbed Swampert. I didn't think that was like an insane pick. Nothing crazy. Claydol, Milo, Doug for Narth, and Dragonite Yama on the flip around for Sin. Sceptile, this did surprise me. Keep in mind, like...
Okay, specifically Narth, this is a really early Doug and a crazy early Sceptile, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know how Narth is doing. And by the way, I thought that we were going to be playing the people that we drafted with, but that's not actually how this is going to work. I think they kind of randomize it, and you're put in a pool with 5 players, including yourself. So, sadly, I didn't get to play Narth. I didn't get to play my buddy Wokefox. We played entirely separate people. But I would be curious to kind of see how Narth is doing, and maybe we can look into that later. But that's one thing I think the first thing you got to learn about draft, one of the first things, is understanding roughly how early Mon typically go. Maybe you really want Sceptile. But if Sceptile isn't typically drafted until like round 5 or like round 6, you could pretty safely let it fall to your round 4 pick and then get something that's also really good, but that's going to get snatched up. We'll see that I was the beneficiary of people just not drafting really, really strong Pokemon very soon. But Sceptile goes, Jolt, sure, Gyarados, okay. And then I'm like, I think I'm going to take Blissey. I need a special wall. Blissey's still here. I don't think it's crazy that Blissey fell to round 3 here. But it's also like, okay, I just have an OU team. I just like have T-Tar, Pert, Bliss. I have like a very solid core. I understand how to play with it. They're all very versatile. And that was just my strategy. I was also advised by like 400 different people, just take Blissey. I just took Blissey. And Girth Lowered, I think they wanted Blissey. They take the next best special wall available in Regice. Tart Pert Bliss is kind of epic, though. Absolutely epic. Empty Wisdom. Wokefox adds Vaporeon onto Zapdos Celebi, and I kind of love it. I love it as a potential like CM recipient. It can, be a aggressive lead and have a berry and try to baton pass something. But like this is like a special offense core to me, Benji. What do you think of Vape as an add to Zapdos Celebi here for Woke?
The immediate thing that I was thinking is really nice into this is the Ice Beam resistance is very appreciated.
Of course.
The first 2 picks.
Yeah.
And then if you combine Calm Mind Celebi with Vaporeon's just ridiculous HP, you can maybe go a little bit harder into Baton Pass, where you can like Celebi CMs twice, Baton passes to Vap. Vap has like 110 HP substitute, can maybe even survive like an HP Grass or a Thunderbolt at +2, and then pass that to something, and good luck.
That's that's so crazy. Yeah, and maybe we'll have some time to take a look at how Wokefox has been doing as well. McMuffin then grabs Gengar and Regirock. Is this a little late for Gengar? I know it's only a 13-pointer. It's the best Ghost. It's the best spin blocker. McMuffin, clearly, he's got his spikes. He's got his spin, fast, offensive threats.
He's making a Assault Beam. He's making a... That oh okay. I was gonna say that looks like a stall team to me. Skarm, Starmie, Gar, Regirock. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I guess the
All right,
Regirock really
dude.
colors it to be more stall. Sure. Woke Fox adding Flygon 4th pick. And
Insane that Rock, Gar, Flygon, Vap, even Regice arguably are all going ahead of Charizard. Like, what the hell?
dude, I don't know how
Oh, and
Charizard fell
Sceptile.
to me.
Freaking Sceptile.
Sceptile goes before Charizard. Like, I got a round 4 Charizard, guys. And Charizard, as you can see, is going to put in work in some of these games. This is usually a pretty fucking late Charizard. I think it can go as early as round 2, often round 3. And I was just begging, just praying that Zard would fall. Every single pick, I make this Blissey. It's like Regice, Vape, Gengar, Reggie. I'm like, McMuffin's not taking Charizard. Flygon for Woke, Hera. When I saw Hera drop from Throbbing Girth Johnson 42069, I knew that we were in for something special. Now we're literally like an OU team. Tar, Perp, Blissey, Zard. Like, how does that make sense? How am I drafting this? Everybody else's team up to this point, their first 4 picks, you at least have some UUBLs in here, like Yama, Glalie, Dragonite, Sceptile, Donphan, Slowbro, Regice, Hera's OU, but Registeel. Woke also
Regice.
has like a fully OU team, and then Reggie's
Yeah,
also
although
kind of
Flygon's like teetering.
yeah,
Flygon's like right on the edge.
he's honorary, but this is like insane. I don't know how this was allowed to happen. We go Slowbro.
Team, and look at what Bolt Beam does to it.
Whose team?
Woke Fox.
Bolt Beam, aside from Vape, yeah, is kind of going insane. So
I mean, Vap doesn't love Bolt either.
I guess it doesn't love Bolt, yeah. So I would be thinking Lantern for Woke. But I think it got snatched up at some point because he was actually looking at Lantern. Oh yeah, later on.
He went Grumpig, which also kind of deals with Bolt Beam pretty well. Not amazing.
Is it thick? Is it thick fat?
It's thick fat.
It's thick fat. So we get Charizard. Some other stuff goes off. Moltres goes, Donphan, Slowbro, Glalie. Blastoise? Yeah. Okay, cool, like little like defensive water type with spin. Sure. Hitmontop has Intimidate. I feel like nobody brings Hitmontop to like actual ADV matches. You don't run to Hitmontop on the ladder. It's never in the conversations with like UUBL fighters. It's not UUBL, but what's holding Hitmontop back, Benji? That's another mon where it's like, should I do like a video on Hitmontop?
Its entire stat line and its move pool and its typing.
Okay, so a lot of things.
Basically, it has one thing that it does. I think I remember it has one thing that it does in Gen 4, but I should actually double check before I say whether or not it does what I think it does in Gen 3.
Well, it has Intimidate and it breaks subs. It has Triple Kick, right? So it can do 1.5 things. I was really looking at Weezing, by the way. Weezing did not fall to me.
Yeah,
Roska snagged it up.
I was screaming at you for Weezing.
Weezing would have been nice, yeah. Because Zard was our first and only Levitator. And
yeah, sorry, Shiny Ledian, Suicune and Rachi are banned because there's an old saying in ADV that every team gets 6-0'd by one Suicune set and one Jirachi set. And if you know the 8 that your opponent has, you just get to bring that set. So it's not allowed. Yeah,
there is like an interesting set of like bans and stuff. Where's the draft board here? You guys can see, so Cacnea and Cacturn are banned by virtue of their Sandveil ability, of course. Sandshrew, Sandslash, same reason. As you can see, Suicune here, Jirachi up there. Wobbuffet, why not, of course, as well. I mean, that goes without saying. They're usually Ubers anyway. Mr. Mime, everybody's seen the Jimothy video on the soundproof baton pass. You can't phase him out, and yeah. So, but the big ones are, in fact, Suicune and Jirachi. And then there's also like a point system where everybody who's drafting only has a certain number of points and all the Pokemon cost a certain number. So you kind of have to take that into consideration. And for the most part, like, I was trying to draft pretty aggressively. And then I tried to make the most of my last few picks. I have a pretty top-heavy top 5. We end up getting Fori. We don't get Weezing. And what was the other idea? I guess people were telling me that, like, somebody that I was talking to that was advising me was, like, Earthquake, aside from Charizard, like rock ground coverage, like, owns my team. and Wheezing is really good into that. So I guess that was like a part of the reason.
I was saying that. I was saying you needed a ground immune and you needed a better fighting resist than
Oh,
Charizard.
fighting. That was the other big one. And we ended up getting that in our 6th pick with Jump Pluff, which is very fast. It speed ties Gengar. I'm sure that won't be relevant later. And it levitates. It sleeps things. It's a fighting resist. So it's kind of like decent roll compression for things that the team kind of needs. I took the best spiker available. I think that's basically what HClat told me. When I have these 4, he said just take the best spiker available. We got Fori, and now we have a spinner as well. This thing can blow up. Decent amount of versatility here. And I got a spin blocker and Missy, and we threw on Pikachu with our pick because at this point we were low on points. And for all the Pokemon left that only cost 2, if it's not on this board, then every other Pokemon in the format that's legal costs 1. So what was I looking at? I was looking at like Dig. I was looking at Diglett, Duskull. We already had our spin blocker, of course. And I'm like, I'm just gonna grab Pikachu, Light Ball Pikachu. Maybe that's gonna do something. It seemed better than really anything else I could have been thinking about at the time. So this is our team. This is how we somehow drafted an OU team in draft. Mostly because people let Charizard fall to 4th pick. And people don't seem to take spikers that aggressively. It kind of feels like, unless you're taking Skarm, a lot of spikers are taken like kind of in the middle second half of the draft once you've already gotten like the rest of your team rounded out. And you grab something that happens to have spikes, like what has spikes? What's an example?
Quillfish.
What's that?
Quillfish.
Quillfish, yes. Nobody took Quillfish here. In fact, nobody fucking... Where are the spikers that anybody else in my draft took? Pineco? Yeah, I guess Pineco would also get spikes. Might be difficult to get them onto the field, but...
Oh, Glalie. Glalie's actually a pretty solid spiker, especially in draft.
True. Yeah, and Glalie went relatively early. But decent speed tier, can boom. You know, people understand it as a niche lead in the OU format. And yeah, Sin of Wrath grabbing Muck 7th. That's a sick play. You got to hats off to Sin of Wrath. But yeah, that's it. And then so from there, I have to play matches. And do I have a pick of all of my opponents? I think I have it somewhere. Maybe not. We'll go one at a time here. My first match was against a guy named Wee Scotty. And so I'm going to grab the team that we ended up on as well as their team. We can kind of talk about our thought process. Like, what were we thinking as we tried to build specifically against this guy? And this is a lot of why I love this format, Benji. Because if you're trying to get an ADVOU, like, you're either going to like grab like a sample team and try to pilot it the best you can, or you're going to like try to build on your own. But like without like a lot of like background and metagame knowledge, it's going to be a lot of trial and error and a lot of failure before you can really feel like you're kind of comfortable. In draft, you just kind of draft your friends.
I always encourage.
You encourage just the failure?
Yeah, that's what I was saying the first time we talked, where I was like, yeah, no, I played all the old 8 previous gens. I never used a sample team because I was just like, let me build garbage and then just get absolutely shoved for the first 200 games.
And I love that for you. And I mean, you're built different. You've climbed to heights that most gamers will probably never see on various ladders. But we'll talk about that some other day. But for a lot of people, it's like that's like a daunting prospect. Like they hardly even know what an EV is. A lot of people that are like vaguely interested in competitive Pokemon. And at least if we narrow the scope, you draft Pokemon that seem kind of cool. Maybe you look up like a guide or something. And you draft kind of Pokemon that you like that are available. So there's a lot less analysis paralysis because there's fewer decisions to make when you're drafting. You get your guys. We have our team of 8. And then specifically, I'm playing this exact guy. So maybe I can't come up with a perfect team that can like hit the ladder and play against anybody else's team. Like there's a million possibilities. Who even knows what's going to happen? But this guy has only these 8. I can game plan for that. I can look up speed tiers. We can do calcs, and that's a lot of what we did. And with Benji by my side, we came up with this 6. Scooty McBooty saying draft has felt like 90% lab work. Yeah, absolutely. We've been hella in the lab the past like 2 weeks working on pools, and to varying degrees of success, as we will soon see. But I'm trying to remember now, because this is the longest ago game. We had an Adamant Lum T-Tar with Dragon Dance and coverage double edge. Light Ball Pikachu.
Never get killed by Dugtrio. Yeah,
We have enough
T-Tar
bulk that T-Tar can never get killed by the Doug. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So we can get T-Tar in front of something, click Dragon Dance, they bring in Doug, we can DD again, live their Earthquake, and then hopefully sweep the entire universe, or at least most of it.
Church.
Take him to church. Oh, I think I can answer this. Shiny Ladian, I tried to send it for draft, but I don't know why they didn't put me in a pool. It's because they had more signups than spots. And I think it was like largely first come, first serve, but they were also accepting donations to the prize pool. And if you made a donation, then they would move you up in line. And I made a donation for myself and for a buddy, so we could like guaranteed get in. I'm sorry that you weren't able to get in. How much does Electabuzz cost? That's a very important question, actually. Let's look at this. I think it's probably a little underrated. Maybe like draft main people that like know ball. Okay, it costs 9. That's actually probably appropriate. It has an excellent speed tier, and it has great coverage. It's a little underwhelming in terms of its offensive output, but compared to the value, I mean, is it as valuable as Fortress? I'm a bit surprised to see that. It is next to our boy Electrode, though. Benji, what do you make of its placement here?
I'm surprised Electrode is that high, but I'm also surprised. I guess I'm not surprised that Electabuzz is that high. It has really nice coverage. There's the thing about draft is that like sometimes it's really nice to have Pokemon that just like auto win into some group, some core of like 4 or 5 Pokemon. And because Electabuzz has Bolt and Ice or Bolt Beam coverage, and it's 105 base speed, it's like, if you're up against what is it, like a Flygon or a Salamence or like a Water, it is a lot easier to set up Electabuzz as a win condition than one would expect, considering its OU placement.
Absolutely, and
which is not.
what was the name of the guy from Reddit that we were working with? Sue Sizzy. I bet Sue Sizzy would beg to differ, saying that no, it's still underrated. It should be UUBL. I don't know if we'll ever get it to UUBL, Sue Sizzy, but we still appreciate the work that you've done for our boy.
Let's remember what UUBL means. UUBL means too good
for UU and not good enough for OU.
Like, well, here's the thing. There are things that are UU that are fine in OU in other generations. It's not about like whether or not it has a place in OU. It's about whether or not it's broken in UU. So it can be. There's plenty of like Clefable in Gen 4 is like a great OU Pokemon. Not at all broken for UU, so they leave it in UU.
That's really interesting. It kind of reminds me of like Snorlax in Gen 2 because it's the best Pokemon in both the Uber and OU format. And at first glance, like you would think, if it's literally the best Pokemon in Ubers, how could it be legal in OU? But as you point out, it's not about how good it is in an upper tier. It's how good it is in the lower tier. And
it's broken and should be banned under normal tiering, but everybody likes it. So
it is so broken and so centralizing. And if you're bringing an OU team in GSC, you would literally have to have Snorlax or else you're trolling. But it has good vibes somehow. So people are like, yeah, let's run it. He's just a chill guy.
In the same way that like a queen is objectively overpowered, it makes the game better. So like, in chess, I'm talking about.
Of course, yeah. Snorlax is the queen.
But like,
I didn't know that about Snorlax, but that's like a very apt comparison. Shiny Ladian probably on the lag before you said this also said that Gen 4 Clefable is a good example. I fear we may have more in common with Shiny Ladian than we originally believed.
Oh no, I always assumed that Shiny Ledian was kind of just me, except more of a troll.
Yeah, if we turn the troll factor up on you, I think we arrived somewhere near Shiny Ledian. But so this was the 6 that we arrived on. We've got Bolt Beam, T-Wave, Blissey. And I'm gonna be honest, like, when we get to like the games that happened more recently, because we played this game like a week and a half ago, we might have a bit more to say. But I'm not sure about this, by the way. I don't know for certain. But you'll notice that, like, Wee Scotty has, like, an E here. SP Funk M has an A. I think that's your seed. I think that's roughly, like, how well they expect you to do. I could be wrong on that. But going in, I'm like, okay, well, you know, there's, like, how many people? I think there's, like, 300 some people in this bracket. So most people are just probably unseeded. But I'm going in thinking, okay, this guy probably is about unfamiliar with this format as I am. I think I'll have a good shot. Let's take a look and see how game 1 against Wee Scotty. Let's see how it goes. We might pause occasionally.
Try to talk about the scout at all?
About the scout? Yeah. Did you have anything you wanted to add on the scout?
So I don't actually remember that much, but I would sort of like venture a guess.
Oh, I'm not sharing my screen with you right now, like at all.
Oh no, I'm just looking at the stream.
Yeah, but that's like lagged. So I'm gonna hook you up.
All right. Well, let me minimize. All right. So the guess that I would venture is that so obviously jump left is jump left, right? We're just gonna be fast and click sleep.
Yeah.
And then I probably bulked it to survive like something important.
It was my idea. I'm not gonna be able to take credit for that much, but it was my idea to lead jump left here. I'm taking that to my grave.
No. You always love leading jump left, and I'm always wondering whether or not it's gonna get you killed, and it never does.
No, never once.
Let's see. The 40, I'm pretty sure I didn't make the 40. I'm pretty sure it was just like, well, the 40 needs to be spikes, earthquake, and boom. So
yeah, this is
let's just use the smoke on set.
Pretty standard 40 stuff happening right now.
I definitely made the T-tar though, to make sure that, and you can tell because it's 248 speed, because that's just enough to get past one of the +1s. Was it? Am I crazy? Oh yeah. It's just enough to get past what's it called? Zapdos at timid max when you're at +1.
Right. Yeah.
And then otherwise than that, it survived an earthquake from Doug Trio, and at +2 it theoretically just wins the game on the spot. And so we were like, leave that in the back. It can basically do it. The Blissey, definitely we decided on Bolt Beam because we were like, doesn't that just cover the entire team? And with spikes down, we don't have to worry about like Doug Trio being able to trap it. Oh yeah, and then Thunder Wave was big because we were like, hey, if we can just slow down one important thing, then we don't have to worry about like Zapdos baton passing, a speed boost.
Right.
And then Zard, I think I talked about it with you because you wanted to bring it, but I think you ended up making the set. And the reason I say that is because I think you forgot to put the last 4 EVs somewhere.
It appears that I did forget to do that. And this isn't like maybe the team I brought. This is like the exact team that I brought, like that I recently created this paste from like actual Showdown. So this is what I brought, and I guess we're just flexing a little bit. Charizard just left a little bit behind. But that's okay.
And then Light Bulb Pikachu was just like a dominant bring into them because we were like faster than, we were faster than Omastar, faster than Kingdra, faster than Marowak, faster than Altaria, faster than Blaziken.
Yeah, of course we have HP Ice.
Yeah, we could live one hit from Doug Trio, or we could live one hit from
Absolutely
Zapdos.
not Doug Trio.
Yeah, but if we sub into the Doug Trio, then HP Ice kills.
Yeah, dude, Light Ball Pikachu is nothing to mess around with. I've seen H-Clat put in work with Pikachu in like an ADV Revival pool set. Now, the thing that I learned something very, very incredibly sad about Pikachu while building for this literal matchup. Like, I literally built the team, accepted my opponent's challenge, and got kicked back because I created an illegal Pikachu set. I tried to put Surf and Volt Tackle on the same Pikachu because Pikachu does get Surf in Gen 3. And it's like, holy shit, its special attack is really good. Its speed is like okay. It has like Electric Double Edge and Surf coverage with HP Ice. Like, how this thing is good. Volt Tackle and Surf are incompatible. So like, I literally accepted my opponent's challenge, and then I'm like, shit, fuck, I gotta like redo the set. So I took it off. I think I just chucked Thunder Wave on and queued up for the match. And this is that match. we've got Jumpluff in front of an Omastar, which is probably fine. I'm just gonna click sleep. Oh wait, I'm also gonna.
It does Oko you.
It should OHKO me with HP Ice, right? Is that the idea?
No, it Ice Beam. It has Ice Beam.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it simply has Ice Beam because every water type ever gets ice coverage, but no ice types get water coverage. That's a video I want to make someday about how ice types have gotten completely screwed. Like, why do water types get ice coverage but not the reverse? I hate it. I don't like it.
Ice and Psychic types continue to pay for their Gen 1 sins.
That's fair. Volt Tackle is an egg move and Surf is from the Stadium gift. Can't use both. Incredibly tragic. It does not get much more tragic than that.
I love it when people in chat know actual physical cartridge game knowledge. It's the sickest thing in the world.
I know.
It's like, oh my god, you're about... Someone's gonna drop like, oh yeah, Wish Chansey was only available in the New York like game event.
In 2002.
Really
yeah.
I'm like, yes. Yes.
Technically, most ice types learn water pulls. I'm gonna fact check that later, Shiny Lady. We don't have time now, but we will someday. We'll look into that. We get a sleep, then what do? We immediately try to get the Zard in front of Zapdos, and remember, we're timid. We're max speed, but they could be timid max speed. And if I do anything but leave, I am risking my entire Charizard and possibly the entire match. Am I not, Benji?
No, I was just saying that you were a little bit scared of agility, which implies modest. But, yeah, let's see what happens.
So we're gonna lose the speed tie.
It's faster.
It's max speed. It's a speed tie because we're max speed. They win the speed tie and click agility. Maybe they think surely he's gonna switch out. He's gonna be afraid. I sub. Never punished. They, of course, get the T-Bolt. We get a little damage ourselves.
A little.
Just a little bit of chip. And I think it's probably time to go Blissey. They T-Bolt. I felt like...
This was a bad not baton pass by them.
I agree. Yeah, because, like, I got to get the hell out of there at that point. So they should probably be baton passing to get that speed in front of something advantageous. They could have sent it to Marowak in front of Blissey. Then what? I could have been fucked. Anyway, Blissey's here. And now they're going to baton pass to something. It's Dugtrio. And now it's no longer Dugtrio. Dugtrio is no longer with us. What do you make of this?
What I make of it is that glass houses exist. So
okay.
I think we should be understanding and encouraging.
We absolutely should.
This being the incorrect play, but understandable that you want to trap the Blissey. You just can't do it there.
Yeah, not the right spot. Maybe if you had a sub up, then maybe it works. If it was sub instead of a Jill and I Ice Beam.
He got O-code.
He did get O-code and he's not going to O-code me back. So there's a couple problems.
Yeah.
But
maybe that's a max roll and he did have some Spadef and it just wasn't enough.
And somebody in the game chat said sniped. But it wasn't really sniped. It wasn't like I made a good play. I made like the play I kind of had to make.
Ice Beam into the freaking Zapdos.
I know. No. It was sick. That was cool and sick of me to do that actually.
Yeah, hard call out.
All right.
It also covered the freaking Marowak, which is what you were actually scared of.
I know. I there's no world where I can not click Ice Beam there. But still, I clicked it really well. I just want to point that out. Anyway, we got Blissey. I'm Thunderbolting, and this is another kind of inexplicable play. I'm not gonna lie.
Huge surf. Look at how much damage that does.
That was a monumental surf, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to financially recover from that surf. But to be real, for like 1.5 seconds, it's lead Omastar, and are you telling me that you didn't bring spikes? Like, how is it that...
Who doesn't know about spikes?
I just T-bolted your Omastar, so you know you're about to get 2-hit KO'd if you stay in. So, why... Like, you're either staying in to get the spike and die, or you're leaving. Do you not have a T-bolt switch in anywhere else? You have Marowak. Does Marowak one-shot me with anything?
No. That was sort of the point, was that you can just take one hit, Ice Beam back, and then figure it out.
Blissey is so broken. ABR was right. ABR had a point. Just want to point that out.
Hey, I got this bitch third for a reason.
This needed to be spikes, unfortunately. We go ahead and eliminate the Omastar. Blaziken is here. I don't really remember this game too well.
Blaziken. Why didn't he baton pass into Blaziken?
Yeah, giving Blaziken a ton of speed.
Why does Blissey have 2 kills? Wait a second, I just realized that. It's not Charizard that got a kill, it's Blissey.
Blissey is the MVP. I'm going to Zard immediately. They sword dance up, and unless they have like HP Rock, I think I'm maybe okay. I don't really remember how this goes.
I do.
Okay, so now
Make the right play.
I'm faster and I'm subbing. Oh, right. It has rock slide coverage. And not to harken the point once more, but
Can we press F in chat, or what's the one
it's
to
F.
feel bad, man?
Yeah.
It's F. Okay.
Let's see some Fs for Wee Scotty. They're doing their best out here, and they're just missing rock slides left and right, and it's not what you want to see.
The very first one is a tough sell.
Yeah, and if they get through this Charizard, like, who knows what happens? I mean, I still have jump left. I don't think it has coverage,
I was
though.
about to say nothing. The answer is nothing.
Yeah, I think do we die? Does Pikachu outspeed Blaziken? I don't know.
It does. That's what I
Oh, okay, so we're totally fine.
Yeah. Although, is this... Oh, no, but it is leftover, so we don't even have to worry about Salad Berry.
True. Yeah, it's just leftovers. He's chipped healed quite a bit. It's still a 2-hit for Dragon Claw from this point. I'm going to go down clawing. I'm going to try claw my way to victory. It's Blaze Fire Blast. Never mind. And he misses another one, dude. He misses another one. And that did happen to Shiny Ladian as well. I hit him with the my bad in the chat, just so you guys know. Because I'm a solid gamer.
Oh, yeah. And that's a gym fan, right? Zard good, Blaziken fraud.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be another Agil. And this is a big mistake by me. I T-Wave him, so now he gets slow baton pass, meaning he can pass the speed to something, and I won't be able to hit them on that turn. So this is not good. This is the opposite of good. I could try T-Wave again, but if he goes Marowak, it's over, because obviously I can't T-Wave that. And I'm scared. I guess I can still Ice Beam, though, but do I get killed from this range? I guess we'll find out. I immediately go to Fori, hoping to live something in, like, Boom.
This was the thing I was most proud of you the whole game for. The Fori play was brilliant.
I thought it could cover pretty much everything, right?
The only way you lose is if he eats an Ice Beam, baton passes to Marowak, SDs, lives the Ice Beam, and then beats your entire team. And the only way to cover that 100% of the time is just go hard Fori right then and there.
I am proud of that play. I took some time off my timer, potentially. Apparently not, actually. Maybe I just saw it, but we went Fori.
You just play on instinct.
We got out of the way of the Fire Punch. I scout that, and now Gengar's here, and I'm thinking, all right, well, you can't do anything to Blissey ever except, like, Boom. Do I get out of the way here? Do I just go somewhere and sack something? Oh, no, I stay in, and his Boom barely doesn't kill, which is unfortunate. One other aspect of this, by the way, remember, there's 5 people in a pool, and 2 people are, like, guaranteed to make it to bracket, and then it gets kind of fishy and wonky. There's, like, play-ins, but it's like, how do you qualify for play-ins? It comes down to a lot of, like, kind of complicated factors, and maybe it's less complicated than I'm making it seem. But the key point here is that differential can matter, and what I mean is, if I 6-0 this guy, it's not just a win, it's a +6 win. So it keeps track of your net differential throughout all the matches. So if I win 4 matches, 6-0, 6-0, 6-0, 6-0, I'm +24. And every time I lose for as many Pokemon as my opponent had alive, we subtract that. So if I can get this win without losing a bunch of Pokemon, that's more advantageous for me and additionally hurtful for my opponent's efforts to try to qualify as well. So something as small as this, it's like, okay, I'm probably going to win from this position a lot of the time anyway. But these little things, they can add up and matter. So that could have been a roll. Now, here's the other thing, though, is I feel like I'm in a tough spot again. They reveal Kingdra in the back. They did not bring Marowak into the team. This is where we're at. And I'm afraid of trying to soft boil because Surf from this range, I think, is guaranteed to do at least 12 to Blissey. So this is kind of a 50-50. He can Surf me, and in which case, if I stay in, I'm dead. If I go somewhere else, I'm okay. I can go, like, Jump Left and try to sleep him or something because I'll outspeed. But if he Rain Dances and I go somewhere else, he's going to outspeed whatever the heck I do, and he's going to take me to church. So I think he's going to try to kill the Blissey, because if he does kill this Blissey, Rain Dance Kingdra could be a very, very, very big problem. Ice Beam destroys Jump Pluff. Surf kills Charizard and Pikachu. Fortress maybe can live a Surf. I don't even know, but I'm kind of terrified of this position. Benji, what are you thinking about, and how would you have played this?
Can't win anymore. It's over. But he can maybe save his differential. And depending on how much you care about your differential, should influence these plays.
You think I just need to sack something and then blow up with Fori, and then that should be it?
Yeah, because Fori lives Surf in rain always, and it actually also lives not rain boosted crit surf. So if you can just get the Fori in at some point without a rain turn, then you can boom.
Right.
You also have a T-Tar, so you never really have to worry about rain. And you
True.
also have a Charizard that outspeeds not rain boosted and has stab, or not stab, but super effective coverage. And you also outspeed it not in the rain with Jumpluff. And you're
Okay.
pretty sure you outspeed it not in the rain with Pikachu. So it is just a matter of like, you're fine here. You should never be scared. You should just ask yourself, like, how much do I care about differential? How much do I care about, like, maybe fumbling this really badly?
Yeah. That's a really good point, is that like you need to tread that line of understanding, how do I get this win safely with the best differential possible, understanding that going for a better differential can risk a number of things. I could end up with a worse differential, or even maybe lose a game that I otherwise should have won. So I do get out of here and go to Jumpluff on the Rain Dance. And now I'm getting outsped. Ice Beam kills me. So I go to Zard and decide to sack the
Love
Charizard.
that. I was so happy about that.
And now I have T-Tar in. I'm bringing up Sand. And this is where I see the Fori angle. And I think I could have done this when Blissey was in. Maybe I could have won this without like losing Charizard even. Because this is basically the same as having the Blissey in front of the Kingdra. Although I guess he's a little bit more inclined to... Because if he Rain Dances here, he's going to outspeed +1 DD Tar, like every time. And Surf will kill me. So he's never not going to Rain Dance here. So explain to me why I shouldn't have just gone Fori and clicked Boom when I had the Blissey in.
So my argument was to get Fori in on a turn without Rain up against Kingdra. Sorry, let me rephrase. If you get Fori in on a turn against Kingdra, but Rain is up, you have a 1 in 16 chance of losing Fori.
Oh, so they do have a role to kill with Surf. Okay.
Well, no, they don't have a roll to kill. You have a 1 in 16 chance of getting crit.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
And if you don't get crit, or if you do get crit by Surf, but it's not raining, it doesn't kill you. So this is the whole, like, is the differential worth risking the 16% crit chance?
Right.
Or should you just, like, sack things until rain runs out? And then when rain runs out, just boom.
That's an interesting question, right? And that often just comes down to playstyle. Like, do I want the guaranteed win at like a +2 or 3 differential, or do I want a mostly guaranteed win at like a +5 or maybe even +6 differential? Like how?
Well, you have to boom with Fori, so it'll never be +6.
It never will be. But we get the Sand up here. This is my opportunity.
We see no leftovers, which is nice.
Yeah. So is that a berry then? It has to be, right?
Sure.
Like a Pitaya berry, maybe.
Higher Lum.
I could see that. Yeah. We get the Fori in. They go for Surf, and it's not even close. So I think I was probably a little bit overly worried for nothing. Or maybe in the moment I was like chilling, and I just don't remember this that well. But I decide I want to win with Pikachu, with Light Ball Pikachu. And the Zapdos is paralyzed. I recognize pretty much anything can come in and do the job. And Volt Tackle takes us to the promised land, baby. That's a W for Pikachu, and a +4 differential for our first of 4 matches. Scooty McBooty alleging that they suspect it was probably Lum in the chat. And look who it is. Hold on 1 second, everybody. In the game chat, none other than Shiny Lady and everybody. Yo, this is insane, folks. Met Supplier. This is their alt. Don't tell anybody. This is Shiny Lady's secret alt that nobody knows about except for anybody that has ever joined this stream, because they are here every time. But that having been said, we're up 1-0. We have a +4 differential. And my next opponent was...
You were riding high. You were riding high.
I was feeling good. I was feeling really good. And I'm like, holy shit. Because I went 0-2 in our friend draft. And everybody in our like draft league is like as inexperienced as me, if not more. And you and I were like going hard in the lab for that like friend draft. And I was feeling confident, and I got like owned both times. And I was not feeling good. I was feeling bad. Costco customer. I'm trying to remember who the hell Costco customer was. Let's like look at... Okay, it's the Cloyster guy. Where's Cloyster? I'm going to find him. You can only hide from me for so long. It's not ZPC. It's got to be Bob Joe Carl. Why can't I find your cloister?
Yeah,
There it is. It's
there's
at the bottom.
cloister.
Okay, we found it. Thank you. All right. Anyway, game 2, we're up against Bob, Joe, Carl. And again, my hypothesis up to this point was that the letters here are your seeding. So I'm like, oh, okay, this guy's like the 2 seed of our pool. Like, he probably kind of knows ball a little bit. He knows what he's doing. I'm riding high.
This one was definitely, we worked on this together because the EVs are really weird.
Yeah, this is a lot of lab work went into this one, boys.
For sure.
So we led with Fori here. They've got a Spiker and Skarm. And we've got a little bit of defense on the Fori so that we can, 1v1, drill peck Skarm and just like rapid spin and spikes and try to win that war.
Reason.
Calm Mind, Ice Beam, Grass coverage on the Bliss. Grass for Lantern, Ice Beam, of course, for Flygon. We've got, I guess, Grass for the Cloister. We can eventually just 1v1 Ludicolo as well. And I think this Blissey was looking like this could be a win condition so long as we eliminate the Medi. If that's like an offensive Flygon. I mean, even Choice Band Earthquake just dies. We just Ice Beam it, right? So we're really only worried about like maybe Haunter blowing up, Cloister blowing up.
Haunter doesn't even have the attack to blow up, really. It's just Cloister blowing up.
But I remember this one too. Was we have a very special Tyranitar, and you were the architect behind this. So talk to us about your vision for this Tyranitar and what it could do for this team and against a specific threat on theirs.
So Charizard is faster than their entire team because if you don't know, Haunter is only 95 base speed. Charizard's 100, so we're faster than everything except for Flygon, which we tie, and Alakazam, which is really scary. They are kind of incentivized to bring a defensive Flygon because we have a Tyranitar, and they don't want to lose to like DD Rock Slide, which does just dumpster their entire team.
It does.
Because like +1 Double Edge will Oko Metacham, even if it's like kind of defensive. Earthquake annihilates Lantern, and then Rock Slide everything else. Flygon is pretty important to be defensive on this team. So they have to be scared of that. So the Flygon's probably slow. If the Flygon's slow and the Zam is dead, Blaze Charizard ends the game. Flamethrower into everything, HP Ice into Flygon, Earthquake into Lantern.
Right, and that's I just wanted to add, like, this approach of understanding, okay, how can I create a win condition? Like, if we're going for like Charizard as a win condition, which it has a great speed tier, it has really good coverage, it can hit a lot of things for a ton of damage. You just identify, like, on their team, what can outspeed and beat me, what can take a hit, what do I need to get chipped, and you can kind of work backwards from there, and then build the rest of the team around to support that Charizard. So, and you're about to talk about this, but we have Pursuit Tar here. If we can eliminate that Alakazam, what is going to stop this Charizard from eliminating the entire universe? Not that much. Lot. And the other cool thing, though, for him...
Ludicolo can take a hit, but it's not going to be super happy with Sand Up, taking a Flamethrower, not being able to Leech Seed super confidently. Problems.
Right. And like, sub here, there's a lot of additional mind games that can happen. But the other cool thing that I love about draft is that, like, my opponent could be in the lab, and he can look at my team and say, okay, crap, he has like a crazy good Charizard win condition. All he needs to do is eliminate like the Alakazam, and then he kind of goes in. So he can craft his entire team to try to deny that, or he can try to like create his own win condition that he arrives at before I arrive at mine. And I just feel like this is like so attainable, like if you're just getting into ADV. Like, again, like getting on the ladder.
You already know Pokemon. If you already know Pokemon a little bit.
Yeah, you got to know a little bit. You got to know, like, if you played the cartridge games and have watched like at least a dozen BKC videos as you've fallen asleep, haven't we all? Then you're probably at the point where you can mess around a little bit, ask for some help, join a Discord server, like get the calc up. Go to calc.pokemonshowdown.com/?gen=3 and just
First result if you Google damage calculator.
Really?
It
damage.
Is. Actually, you can just say damage calc.
Damage calc. Oh my god, that's so true. Dude, we're like really here, man. Smogon, like competitive singles is we're big time now. But anyway,
some of you might be looking at this and you might be like, hang on a sec, why is a Pursuitar weird? And you're right. So the Ice Beam is obviously for the Flygon, because again, if it's a fast Flygon, that's the only thing that kind of messes with Charizard, and Flygon is a pretty common switch in T-Tar in general. So just nice to have that. Well, the weird part is the Quake slide. Uh, it makes some sense because like it's pretty strong coverage, but specifically there was another reason for it. It was because there was a hard call out that I wanted to make, which was
Wait.
Alakazam.
Before you say it, let's watch the game, and we're gonna just see it
True,
unfold.
fair enough.
Let's just,
So really quick, just
yeah,
to
please,
really quick run over the rest of the scout.
yeah.
Fortress had enough defense specifically to survive 2 choice banded Medicham brick breaks. Hidden Power Ghost let him beat the Medicham 1v1. And the attack investment also helped with that. The Charizard set hit everything, including Lantern with Earthquake, which is why it's there. It's the only thing that stops you otherwise. Blissey has coverage for everything with just Ice and Grass, so it kind of forces booms. Misdreavus didn't need to do a whole lot, but it was here just in case you needed like a ground immunity that wasn't absolutely terrified of dying to like a Flygon. And it had Bolt Beam coverage, because again, that's very good into their team, and then Shadow Ball to also help with the Medicham, because if the Medicham goes, Blissey wins. If the Flygon goes, and the Alakazam goes, Charizard wins. Lots of just stacking issues for them. And then if we needed a secondary switch into Medicham after the Misdreavus dies, we have Jumpluff, who's very defensive, outspeeds any Medicham, outspeeds, I think, maybe even Flygon, and can sleep stuff, can heal before T-Tar comes in with Synthesis, and has HP flying to do damage to both Ludicolo and Medicham.
And just being in the lab and like coming up with this game plan, taking and writing down notes and remembering, okay, if we eliminate Medi, then Blissey probably wins. If we eliminate Alakazam, Charizard probably wins. And you kind of, it's a free-flowing thing in this game where you don't know exactly how it's going to go. You can't plan for everything, but you have these like vague game plans. And as things develop, if you're like, oh, this could be my opportunity to like prepare for and pivot towards this win condition, just like having those game plans like more fully thought out and written down made me feel so much better prepared for this match. And let's see how this went. And turn one, we of course we leave with our Fori. They've got our Cloyster, and I'm worried about potential HP Fire. I want to scout for HP Fire. I recognize they might just be spiking. They could be clicking, a lot of different things here. But what on our team deals with basically anything that the Cloyster can do? There's a couple things, I guess. I mean, I guess there's a few answers, but I decided to pick Missy. I wanted to go Missy and just scout HP Fire.
Yeah, because if it's HP Fire, technically Blissey is the best switch in, but then Blissey has to be afraid of Boom. And Blissey can't really stay in for fear of Boom because it's so important. So Missy is a nice thing that can just come in, take nothing from HP Fire, and do a ton of damage with Thunderbolt.
Right.
To just threaten it out in the same way Blissey would, except, without worrying about losing an entire Blissey.
Exactly.
We went over this.
We did. And a common theme is that Blissey is very, very, very important, and I'm going to try not to risk it when I can avoid doing so. So we're going to get out of the way. I bring in the Missy, and we just catch a Boom on turn one. It was Choice Band Cloyster Boom, and we talked about this after the game, and he was like, he shared all these calcs that he did, and he's like, dude, that Boom would have like had like a chance to kill this Pokemon. It would have killed this Pokemon for sure. And I felt kind of bad. I felt for them. But in my mind, I'm like popping off. I'm like, damn, I should have been streaming this, but I thought it would have been too distracting. And now I'm just like, dude, we are so cooking. They have no spikes. They have no spin. They're down a Mon. Let's go. They bring out Scarm, and also they have Scarm, so they're going to get spikes. I'm bringing in Fori, and they actually double to Alakazam. And I kind of love that play from them, because if they bring in Scarm, they know I'm going Fori. They know I have Fori. I led with it. And so they're representing Fire Punch here. But as Benji almost said earlier, he suspected that something interesting might happen. So I'm going to go immediately to the Pursuitar. We identified that if we get the Pursuitar in and we eliminate the Zam, Charizard's going to go nuts. Well, what happens? He tricks a Choice Band onto our T-Tar. So now, when we pursue the Alakazam, he's gone. He's out of here. He's gone. Bye-bye. T-Tar can come back in later and use Choice Band Rock Slide or Choice Band Earthquake. And Benji, you fucking called this to a T. You are a literal madman. And you floated me in both of these games, I have to admit.
I do remember calling out, like, before we left, when after the game plan was sort of settled on, we were like, yeah, we're gonna pursue the Alakazam every time. If you see the Alakazam, you pursued it. Don't worry about the other stuff.
Right.
And then I was like, but you know what would be sick? And it's the other reason we have Rock Slide and Earthquake on this thing. Wouldn't it be crazy if no, I think of what I actually said is I think I know exactly what's going to happen. I think what's
Mhm.
exactly going to happen is it's going to be Alakazam tricking Choice Band trying to catch the Blissey, because if it does that, then Alakazam's like really scary into the rest of the team, and
Mhm.
that's the other reason we're going to have Quake Slide on this, is to get a Choice Band T-Tar out of it, in addition to the Pursuit T-Tar.
Like an amazing call out, recognizing, you know, and you know, Alakazam, like people recognize it has trick. If you see it on the ladder, it's, you know, it's somewhat likely that it's going to try to trick something onto your team and basically immobilize that thing. If Blissey can only click one button every time it comes in, it's completely neutered, and it's not going to be able to do what it wants to do. Because what do we've got Calm Mind, like Bolt, Grass, Soft Boiled, where we
Yeah,
can't afford
with
that.
Oyster Dead, we can kind of lock into Ice Beam pretty good, but it's not happy. We're not happy about it.
True, but you literally said, you said, I think this is exactly what's going to happen. And that is exactly what happened. And crafting the exact T-Tar that could make the most of that call out and bringing it, and just it happened. Sometimes this is a beautiful, magical game, man. So we've got Flygon here. I'm going to go Missy. Obviously, we levitate over the Earthquake. I feel like it covers most of what it could have done. Like, what is this Flygon going to do? You know? So we got the Missy here. We're in a good spot again. They're going to go to their Scarm immediately. I did click HP Ice, I think. Is that what this is? Yeah, it's HP Ice. Missy doesn't get Ice Beam. That'd be insane. We get a little chip on the Scarm, not overly valuable. But they've lost Zam, presumably which had Fire Punch. So they're really kind of running out of ways to deal with Fori. Of course, the Flygon could have Fire Blast or something, but you know, I'm bringing the Fori in again, and they double again. I kind of love this play from them. They're behind. They need to make solid plays. And, you know, obviously I'm going to want to scout the Fire Blast here. So I'm getting out of the way, and they do Fire Blast. So we're maneuvering well. We're going to find opportunities to spike later if we even need to in order to win this. I'm just kind of like straightforwardly clicking Ice Beam into Flygon. They end up going to Medi. I've got to get out of the way now. And this is why we
No
brought...
leftovers.
Oh, no leftovers. Right. Okay, so that... And I think I noticed that was, in fact, Choice Band Shadow Ball damage.
Oh yeah, we are so defensive on this. There's no way we get to a KO by not.
So Blissey gets to come in for free. Credit to them. They've
I
made
was
strong doubles.
sad about that turn. I was sad about that.
You were sad that I went Blissey because you think that that's too obvious, so there's no way that they're going to stay and then simply click Shadow Ball again?
Well, that, but also
We could have
I
went
was like,
T-Tar.
we had T-Tar. We finally have a Choice Band T-Tar. We're gonna do the cool thing, and we didn't get to do the cool.
Yeah, well, maybe we get to do the cool thing later. You and I both know whether we do or not, and maybe the tone of my voice is kind of giving that away.
I have no idea whether we do or not. I stopped watching this after you got the Pursuit on Alakazam. I was like, okay, it's over.
Okay, it's probably over. So I'm Calm Minding.
But I guess the question is how many Pokemon you keep, right? Because differential matters.
Exactly, right. So that's... And again, I mean, I'm very capable of throwing this. And we may or may not see some throwing happening later on in the stream. So I Calm Minded once and clicked Ice Beam, and it could be worthwhile to think, like, should I have Calm Minded a second time? Should I just be clicking Ice Beam now forever? Like, Toxic represents Protect, so do I ever Calm Mind now on their Protect? I didn't love this position. Maybe I should. I have Soft Boiled, but I guess I haven't played this line very many times. I haven't brought Blissey on the AWOU ladder practically ever. So I guess, how do you think of this?
Him in your builder?
I mean, I'm sure I do, but like, how often have I brought Blissey onto the ladder?
That's what I'm asking, man. I'm like, yeah, this is not your Pokemon.
No.
Which was actually something I wanted to mention during your draft. Was like, you asked a lot of people for help, and a lot of people are like, Blissey's broken. We've used Blissey a million times. Fortress is good, particularly in draft. We've used it a bunch. And after talking to a pawn earlier this weekend, I remember I came to a conclusion where I was like, perhaps just taking the best Pokemon wasn't actually a great call, because you got yourself in a lot of these situations where
Exactly.
it was like, Blissey is not super hard to play here, but it's much easier to play if you kind of know how it does. and these
Right.
were unfamiliar to you.
Yeah, I completely
So
agree.
I think probably the most likely things are protect, or if they're gonna call out a switch to Fortress, like roar or switch to Flagon. Either way, I think Fortress is fine, and I probably would go Fortress.
Fair enough. Scooty McBooty. So how do I feel about the pink blob now that I've used it in draft? Well, this is the second draft I've used it in because in our friend like draft in the OSU Melee Discord, my first two picks, I was the 8th pick and I went Skarm Bliss, thinking, "Oh my god, this is broken. How did you guys let me get Skarm Bliss?" Because I didn't know anything. And I'm like, "This is insane. You guys are all going to get owned." And then I got like destroyed 0-2 and got very sad. It's clearly very good.
If we switched picks, it would have been better for both of us. You would have gotten Raikou, and I would have been able to do stuff with Zapdos Starmie.
Yeah, that's true. It would have been. We should be allowed to switch picks. I think you should be allowed to like
I
offer a trade.
suggested that trading picks be allowed, but no.
Next
that was
time.
shot down by Shoto.
Okay, well, Shoto's not going to be the commissioner next time. We're gonna like override him and elect somebody else as the commissioner. But here's my analysis of Blissey. It's very, very good, but I'm uncomfortable specifically because I know my opponent is game planning specifically for my Blissey, and in many cases they know it's critical for them to get through my Blissey, right? And if they do, it empowers so many other of their Pokemon. Like in this case, like if Blissey goes, Zam is insane. I mean, I guess Cloyster isn't like crazy. Who else do they have? Lantern could be a problem. Even Haunt or Ludicolo. Like these threats are insane. So just
Ludicolo is the problem.
It's a problem. There's just so many things out to get my Blissey. That like sometimes I'm wondering, like, am I too afraid? Am I playing too passively? And it's just because I don't have enough experience. So it's put me in some weird spots, but it's obviously really great, and it's a big part of why I did as well as I did, which we'll see. Elect Shiny Ladian as the commissioner. We'll see about that, buddy. I decided to get out of here, and I do go to Fori. And we do it on a Protect, so I'm pretty happy with that. We preserve Bliss's health. Skarm's chip healing, but we have Charizard in the back. Who cares? They're going to bring the Flygon in. We get a Spike. And we talked about this. This could have been a spin angle. This isn't really a stall team.
I just like spin because we're winning by so much. Wouldn't it be nice to just never have to worry about spikes?
I see what you're
Or
saying.
at least not have to worry about spikes for the next couple of turns, right? And then just always be able to bring Fortress back in. Like, does spikes hit the Skarmory? Does spikes hit the
Flygon?
The Flygon?
Right.
Is the Medicham dead to any hit anyway?
That's like insanely true. So I in hindsight, I completely agree that spin would have been more valuable. Well, we all remember what happened last time my Fori was in front of their Flygon. They Fire Blasted. And
what would you do now?
If I'm them?
No, if you were you.
If I'm me? Well, what I did do is I tried to get out of Fire Blast way again, come in on a Spike, and get Earthquaked. So, great play by my opponent.
So interesting. Okay, so here's the thing, is you just went on a whole thing, right, about you are super careful with Blissey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I agree with you.
That's fair. I just really thought it was going to be Fire Blast, and I didn't recognize that, because that is, like, clearly the best play that I can make, and they are behind, and they need to call me out in order to claw this back. I think, in hindsight, them Earthquaking here is a great play, and it's one that I should have seen. And also, unless they somehow Rock Slide, Charizard is a great switch in. Even Missy can come in on an Earthquake or a Fire Blast. So Missy's probably...
Shiny Ledian. Maybe you are just me, but more of a troll.
Ledian, you do know ball. You know your shit. I gotta give it to you. So now I'm like, fuck. Like, Earthquake obviously 2 hits me here. I'm getting outsped by the Flygon. This is no bueno.
Yeah, you kind of can't heal on anything.
I'm sorry?
You kind of can't heal on anything.
Yeah, the only thing was I got to get in on the Skarmory, provided it doesn't have Peck.
Or Taunt.
If it has Taunt or Peck, then we're kind of fucked. And he's up against a Blissey team. He could very well have either of those, especially Peck for the Fortress. He does Rock Slide, hoping that I go Zard on the Earthquake. I'm glad I saw this, because as I just talked myself through this, there was a moment where I was like, oh, you just go Zard, until I realized it was actually Missy. But I make the good play. My thoughts on the Cavs 16-game winning streak. Well, they're playing right now, trying to make it 17 games.
Think about the fact that Garland has shot like 37% from the field and 31% from three, and Mitchell has missed a ton of games, and we're still on a 16-game winning streak.
This is the only time I've ever seen a team slump their way through a win streak. Like, they're not playing their best basketball. They've won 16 straight. We were 40-10 at one point. And now we're 56-10.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's also because like there's like this heuristic. I can't remember what like really solid player or coach from like the history of the NBA said this. It was like a really good coach said like the mark of a championship winning team in the regular season is reaching 20 wins before 10 losses Phil Jackson and or reaching 40 wins before 20 losses. You want to win like 2/3 of your games by like those benchmarks. It's a heuristic. It's like a rough idea of like how strong your team is. We reached 40 wins as we reached 10 losses. That's twice the heuristic, and we've won 16 straight games since then. This makes no fucking sense. Like, what the actual fuck? And we're up against the Magic, who they've had a lot of unfortunate injuries. You hate to see that for them. They were looking really strong at the very beginning of the season too.
Yeah, but like some of their guys are back, and they're worse now that they're back.
Interesting.
It's a very strange situation.
Let's quickly. I don't want to sideline us for too long here, but okay, they've got Franz Wagner.
And Paolo are both back.
They are back. I wonder if
back.
they can't be at 100%, but it looks like they're doing okay. I don't know what their shooting splits look like tonight, but they got KCP, key role player on two separate championship winning teams in the 2020s with the bubble Lakers and the Denver Nuggets. So put some respect on KCP. Lakers should have retained him and Caruso. They should have retained KCP and Caruso and not made the Westbrook trade. I will go to bat for.
The real issue was that they weren't sure what to do with two of LeBron's favorite white guys. Usually LeBron only gets one, and they had to decide between Caruso and Austin Reeves.
The craziest part is now LeBron has three favorite white guys, and not just Austin Reeves and fucking Luka motherfucking Doncic, but also Dalton Connect, really solid rookie shooter.
Yeah, he got traded, but he's back.
He's back, baby. Anyway, have you guys seen? Hold on. Last thing. Luka Pokemon meme. Yeah, have you guys seen this? Have you guys?
Oh my god.
Do we have any ball knowers? Hold on, I gotta change my scene. Dalton Connect, Charmander evolves into Austin Reeves, evolves into Luka Doncic, and it's like a truer statement has never been uttered. This is like actually insanely correct and accurate.
I would quibble with the statement a little bit. I think that the more accurate version of it is the like Dalton Connect Dratini, Austin Reeves Dragonair, and then Luka Doncic Dragonite. Let's
Mega
illustrate
Dragonite.
The difference a little bit more.
Does Dragonite get a Mega?
Let's illustrate. It does not, because the item would have been called Dragonite Knight, and that would have been sad.
They should have done it. That would have been so funny. Anyway, we bring the Missy in on a rock slide. I applaud them for that rock slide.
Yeah, doesn't take anything.
Yeah, it takes nothing. Missy, I've been impressed with Missy here. They're gonna protect to scout what I'm doing. I clicked T-Bolt on like Skarmory potentially coming in because this thing can't hurt me. If I'm wrong about this, then that's fine. You're making plays, Costco customer. I'm gonna make some plays, but they protect.
I thought that was insane.
You thought that was insane. You thought this was insane. Yeah. What are they gonna do? Rock slide me again for 26% more?
Yeah, but they saw that Rock Slide didn't do a lot, so they could switch to Fire Blast and in sand. I don't know if that 2-hit KOs you. And this Flygon is like getting dangerously close to being able to do something. Because like you gave up the Blissey, it OHKOs the 4-y. You survive an Earthquake with T-Tar and hit back with Ice Beam, but we're Choice Band now.
Yeah.
So what happens if they protect, scout the Ice Beam, and then switch? Like, you're dangerously close to letting this thing get out of hand.
Okay, that's fair. I will concede that those points are fair. We've discussed up to this point as well that I'm an instincts based, I'm like a feel based player. You know, like between like the Mango to Mewtwo King dichotomy, I'm more Mango, less Mewtwo King. And they've switched around a lot. They've doubled many times. I sense that they recognize they need to make many difficult plays to win this. And I thought this could be a chance to like snipe the Skarm and like basically put it out of reach. I saw this was I smelled blood in the water. And apparently it wasn't actually blood. Apparently I blundered that entirely. But They
I
protect
also
it.
want to ask, like, why do you need the Skarn dead?
Again, yeah, we do have the Charizard in the back. We have it in the back. I guess it's not
And you
overly
have a
valuable.
Fortress for spin.
Yeah, maybe I'm a little too pressed on the whole Skarmory thing. And you know, they wouldn't even have a spike right now if I had just spiked myself rather than or spun myself rather than having spiked a moment ago. But we're getting kind of caught up on this one. They bring in the Ludicolo as I do opt to HP Ice, which is doing absolute peanuts to this thing.
That's scary.
And this is where it's a little scary. I mean, it's not full health anymore. It's in sand. It's coming in on a spike. I got a little chip. But this thing's clicking Rain Dance. And then what? And remember, we got a spike, so whatever I'm going to do to deal with this thing has to come in on one. And it's going to be 4-y. So they actually decide to click Leech Seed.
Oh, lovely.
Which, yeah, I guess you like that more than Rain Dance in this spot?
That's perfect for us. Bad pick for them.
Oh, true. True, I
Or
forgot.
the surf.
Yeah. Because from this spot, maybe I should have just blown up here. But I'm going to spin, because I actually remembered that spin removes Leech Seed, which I didn't even know until a couple months ago. Like, I literally didn't know about that interaction. But I did not expect this. This is where I was like, oh, shit. Am I in trouble? Am I throwing? They're subbing on a spin. Brilliant. Brilliant from them, in my humble opinion.
This is where I knew you won.
Really? This is the moment where you're like, oh, it's over?
Yep. So here's the thing. Count how many moves he has.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of 4 move slot syndrome. Like, he can only fit Surf now. It's got to be Rain Dance, right? So it's Rain Dance, Surf.
What if it's not?
Maybe
If
it's
not, then
maybe it's Ice Beam, but he can't hit everything anymore. If it's just Surf, he can't hit Jump Bluff. If it's Ice Beam, he can hit Charizard not super well. He can't hit T-Tar that well. We could just come in and bring Sand in. He can't do anything.
yeah, and more importantly, Charizard's faster.
True.
It's not Rain Dance.
Do I shop at Costco? I do. Shiny Lady, and I do shop at Costco. Costco is big here. It was founded in Kirkland, Washington State. And I live in Seattle. I did calc that
all their
this
stuff's called Kirkland.
this Hidden Power Ghost plus Rapid Spin was guaranteed to break that sub. Had I not Rapid Spin...
I was very proud of you for that. That was nice.
Had I not Rapid Spinned, that would not have been the case. That HP power, I don't think it would have gotten there, or it would have had a very unlikely roll to do so. But we're here. He just did 48% with his Surf, and this probably doesn't matter, but we live the next one. He did only 45. We get to boom on his Ludi, and that should be it. That's good for differential. Jump Bluff is here. I don't even remember. What do we have on this guy? It is HP flying. Yeah, we just click it. Skarm is here. We're going to outspeed. I think I'm going to try to put it to sleep. And the rest of this game should be... Yeah, I think, clicking Sleep Powder with the Sleep Mon is... honestly, love that play from me. I clicked... Maybe I'm gaming too hard. Maybe I'm gaming a little too hard. I'm like, surely he's going to go Flygon? Because what else can Jump Bluff do to the Skarm? Maybe I just need to, like, chill out a little bit. Anyway, I'm going Zard. I should have went Zard earlier. He just spent 2 turns of sleep. He's pretty unlikely to not wake up here. I'm pretty greedily clicking sub. Why am I doing this? I don't know.
Indefensible.
He's
indefensible.
He's gonna wake up and roar me out. I'm really trying to hand the win back. I felt a little bad. I caught the boom earlier. And the good news is we're going to be able to heal up Bliss. Oh yeah, no, because last was revealed to be Roar. All he can do is click spikes. I'm gonna soft boiled. Which is probably unnecessary because I mean I guess it could kill the Skarm later.
Flygon, which is nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
Now, which is important.
No reason not to. Now I can't ever spin again without the 4-y, but again, we're so close to the end, it probably doesn't matter. Gonna get Blissey out, bring the Jump Left back in. Probably gonna sleep again, and then just play the line correctly this time. We do land the sleep, no immediate wake up. This should probably be Roar from them to roar the Zard out, I would imagine. Zard is here. They doubled a Flygon.
No, it should be Toxic. It should have been Toxic, just in case they get the turn 1 wake up and you go Zard, because maybe they can fumble their way through it, but probably not.
Maybe. Shiny Lady, and when did I become a Cavs fan? I'm from Ohio, so I've been a Cleveland sports fan my whole life, except recently the Browns, ever since they gave Deshaun Watson a guaranteed $250 million, despite him being a worthless human being, which is a bit of an understatement, honestly. I don't support the Browns, but I love the Guardians. I love my Cleveland Cavs, and I really got into the Cavs in 2016 when they went on that finals run, and I was living with a really good buddy of mine who was like, dude, the Cavs are amazing. You got to like get in on this. You got to watch this. Watch the finals, and the rest is history. I've been a ball fan and knower ever since. We bring T-Tar in on a rock slide, get Charizard out of harm's way. Gonna come Missy on a protect turn. I'm just kind of maneuvering around. Probably could have won this about 5 turns ago. HP Ice gets there.
Yeah. Look at 8 PIs. And what did we see? What did we see?
What did we see? It's leftovers. Oh, we're outspeeding this Flygon. I was worried about Charizard like speed tying this thing because are we timid max speed? No, yeah, we're hasty. Yeah. We're max speed Zard. But I'm like, I am not gonna let my Charizard lose the speed tie and get rock slid and like lose the differential, potentially lose the game. And I'm like, dude, my Misdreavus is outspeeding this thing. Holy shit. So now I'm not afraid of anything. If I get the Charizard in safely, it cleanly wins against everything remaining. And should not be.
We don't even need to get in safely. It's just if it doesn't die.
Yeah. Well, at 76, I doubt it can take a rock slide, but yeah. I mean,
no, that's why I said as long as it doesn't die.
Exactly. They pivot the Flygon in. And the thing was, I had never chipped this fucking Flygon. So I could never check its leftovers versus anything, but now we saw Missy outsped. Obviously, my Zard's going to outspeed. I don't need to do this substitute at all. It makes like no sense whatsoever. I guess it was like insurance for like if he switches because he's like, okay, HP Ice is a guaranteed kill. I need to go like Scarm and continue outplaying him. Then this allows me to miss a Fire Blast at some point.
You're not Fire Blast.
I'm also not Fire Blast. So mistakes were made. Mistakes were made, but we're gonna get there in the end.
Yeah, there's nothing he can do.
And
it's just how you choose to get the 5-0.
I do choose. I think a part of it was also getting into Blaze range, in my defense, which we are now in Blaze range. And I think Blaze range was necessary to guaranteed kill the Scarm with one hit. So like if he like wakes up and roars and stuff, which didn't happen, Medi comes in, gets outsped. And we're 2-0 in the pool now with a +9 differential.
2-0. Yeah, +9, baby.
Yeah, we've only lost 3 Pokemon in 2 games. I was feeling good after the first game. Now I'm feeling amazing. There was like almost a full week though between game 2 and game 3. Took some time.
They iced you.
It wasn't so much that they iced me. We were just like trying to like plan out, and I wanted to play the games on the weekend, I think, or like closer to the end of the week. So I played on a Friday, this past Friday. And this game was against ZPC. Z-Pice? They also have a Skarmory.
It's supposed to be close to Spice, but just Z-Pice.
Spice? Unclear. Let me fix the scene as well. But anyway, so this is their team. They've got Skarm, Starmie, and Gengar, and Electrode. Like 3 like really fast threats that I'm going to have to deal with.
Auto-lose the Blissey.
They do lose to Blissey. What's the only thing that doesn't lose to Blissey? Like Electrode blowing up,
Breloom.
Breloom being a Pokemon that can beat Blissey for pretty obvious reasons. And them, I don't know, like destroying all of my other Pokemon and forcing it to be Blissey last, I guess.
Yeah, then they could Toxic it.
They could probably Toxic it in a situation like that. But we were kind of cooking. Like this is kind of a fire Zard set in place of HP Grass. Which, when are we clicking HP Grass into this team? On Starmie? I don't know. I guess. But, like, how are we going to...
Sunny Day boosted Fire Blast.
What if we got a Sunny Day boosted Fire Blast with Salic? What if we got down into range of Blaze boosted, Sunny Day boosted Fire Blast with a Salic? Maybe we're behind a sub or something? That could just beat the entire universe. And that could even beat Chansey. There were some calcs. There were some freaking calcs. Benji cooked with this one. And I did my best to bring it to life, to see it through. Empty Wisdom. Oh, Z-Pice is Blue Hussy or something like that. He's an old gen oneer. Cool dude.
Oh, sick.
That is sick. And going into this, I know my last 2 opponents are this guy who's the D seed, the 4 seed of our pool, which again probably just means he was unseeded, and the 1 seed. And we're gonna talk about this, but the 1 seed, our buddy Apon, apparently he said that the 1 seed is like a top 15 draft player. Like this guy, like mains draft, like knows what he's doing. And again, top 2 are guaranteed to make it out. I've won 2, and I'm like, all right, if I win this, even if I lose against the really good player, I'm 3-1. I could potentially be the number 1 seed in my pool, even if I lost the head-to-head. But the other player would have to lose twice because the first thing is head-to-head and then it's differential. But I'm just trying to do the best I can, and I'm like, this is my opportunity. I can clinch bracket.
It wasn't the team.
What's that?
This isn't the team.
This is not the team. Are you sure?
Yeah, this is the first version that I sent you before we continued to sort of act culinarily.
Okay, draft 3.1 is probably it then.
Yeah, we should be looking for not mirror coat. Oh yeah, what was the Swampert? It was minus speed.
Yeah, sub, focus punch, earthquake, ice beam.
Ice beam.
This one was minus speed.
The different set.
The Swampert in game 4 is not minus speed though. I know you brought that up as well.
Yeah.
It was adamant, but we'll get there. Good call out from Benji. Oh. This is the actual team.
Yeah.
Much of it is the same.
It wasn't DDT Tar. Yes.
No, we went with Pursuit Tar specifically to eliminate the Gengar. Because if we eliminate Gengar, well, that's one less Pokemon that can boom on Blissey. It makes
have to worry about spin.
Right. We never have to worry about spin blocker. And the idea was, let's stall this guy. And this is kind of like a late game pivot. Because we had been talking and building for a little bit, and we were going to go in a different direction. There was going to be a DD Tar. And then you're like, wait, stall just wins. And I think...
The other thing is that Mean Look Gengar 6-0'd you. It 6-0'd you if you didn't break Pursuit Tar.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I could see that as well. So we really need to deal with the T-Tar. We're bringing Jumpluff as well. Because, of course, they have Breloom, they have Spore. So we have Jumpluff with no rest, but it has Sleep Talk. It's our Spike Sack. And then look at the Synthesis, Hidden Power, Flying, Sleep Powder. We have 3 good outcomes that we can click here to just burn turns and try to get back some momentum. So Jumpluff is very important for dealing with the Breloom until we've eliminated the Breloom, which is, of course, one of the things most threatening to our Blissey, which is one of our win conditions. Like, how are they going to break this Blissey, right? So T-Tar helping us eliminate the Gengar, which can 6-0 us. We have this insane Salic, Sunny Day, Mild Blaze, Fire Blast Charizard that has rolls to do a lot of crazy things and can pretty much 1v1 anything if it's able to get set up. Swampert, Sub-Focus Punch, Earthquake, Ice Beam coverage for a lot of the team. Any other things that we should note about this before we take a look at the game?
I would like to note something. So the Blissey was originally Thunderbolt because you had described... So the Blissey was originally not this set, but you had described a sort of discomfort with Blissey. Mm-hmm. And so we adjusted and we were like, okay, well, what if I give you Protect so that you feel a little bit safer into Gengar booming and you have more stuff to click. You don't just have to double every time.
Right.
Because the conversation we had was I was like, yeah, if it's 40, you should go into Blissey because it could Will-O-Wisp or it could Fire Punch.
If it's Gengar.
And if it's Gengar, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to scout the boom, you can go Swampert. And if it's Fire Punch, it's probably also showing HP Grass. And then you can just go back into Blissey and you can, keep doing this until you find an opportunity. If Pursuit Tar is dead, because otherwise this is kind of annoying and you would like to just Pursuit Tar him.
Right.
And you described yeah, okay. You were a little bit uncomfortable just doing the pivoting thing because what if he just makes the correct move every single time for 14 turns straight?
Right.
And I wanted to be like, well, he deserves to win then, doesn't he?
Yeah. Just give him the damn win, brother. That's a good point.
And then, but Protect was a nice middle ground to deal with that. And then Pursuit was also really nice to help with Gengar. But originally, the Chansey was Thunderbolt. Because I was like, yeah, you've described being uncomfortable with Blissey, and I think that having a Blissey that can't actually kill the Starmie will make you more uncomfortable. So I'd like to give you Thunderbolt so that you can hit Starmie and Skarmory.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did some practice where I gave you the worst matchup possible because I was like, if I can prep him for it and he can win 1 out of 3 and force it to last mon in one of the other 3, that means he's going to be fine into the other thing.
Yeah.
And you did win. You did win 1 out of 3, and you did force it to last mon with the other one.
Yeah, but I will tell you, like, after like going into games 1 and 2, I felt very well prepared. I felt super confident. Going into this game, I did not feel the same way. I felt like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I have a game plan, but like I don't know why. Just like I didn't feel like nearly as comfortable. And it's because in part because I have less experience playing a team with this pace. And that's not your fault. It's not my fault. That's just how I felt going in. But I still,
with,
yeah.
Go ahead. You want to?
The last thing was, I still think it was probably the right thing for us to do because I could have, won, I could have lost, but obviously both outcomes are possible. But either way, it was the best bring, and I'm gonna get experience win or lose. So I'm glad, I'm glad that we did.
That I wanted to mention. Yeah, because I was like, in the team builder, you can pick offense every time. But
right.
in draft, sometimes the only playable matchup is going to be balance or stall. And you don't get to not bring balance or stall in those situations. You have to bring the matchup that gives you a chance. You can't just bring the thing that loses because you're comfortable losing with it. So what happened was we originally had T-Bolt on the Blissey to make it easier on the Starmie, and
right.
you got spooked. You got spooked by the Breloom. And I wanted to illustrate that, like, no, you have Ice Beam Swampert for that. You have a hard counter. As long as Jumpluff is alive, Breloom can do nothing. It can do literally nothing to you.
Right, as long as we can sleep sack something else that isn't the Swampert.
No, it does. That's not even the important part. The important part is that you resist fighting coverage, and they probably have to run ghost coverage to hit the Missy, otherwise they don't touch it.
Right.
And they probably have to run Mach Punch for T-Tar. So they just can't beat you. You stay in forever, and you keep clicking buttons. Like, as long as you have Jumpluff, it just can't make any progress, like, under any circumstances. But
yeah, that's an important
help,
if.
and you also have Explosion Fortress as like a last chance to do it. But like, to make it a little, and also the Blissey already had a click into the Breloom, which was toxic on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But just because of the second game that we played where the Breloom managed to win, we ended up going with Flamethrower Blissey to make it, I guess, like even more anti-Breloom.
And this is going to be a little longer, so let's dive in. It is lead Breloom into Fori, and we know that our sleep sack is Jumpluff. So I'm going there immediately. They bring in Gengar. And
we have a Pursuit Tar.
There's so many things here that tell us to just go Tyranitar. It's Pursuit Tar. If they click Will-O-Wisp, who cares? If they click Ice Punch to try to hit the Jumpluff, we come in with T-Tar, we Pursuit them, who cares? Maybe they are EV to live it. We get a Pursuit off. Like that's the game plan. And we discussed the game plan. I wrote the game plan down. But I got in my own head. I'm in this spot, and I'm telling myself, okay, I could go there. They know I have Tar. They could suspect it's Pursuit Tar. I am outspeeding this Gengar. So he's thinking, like, he could put my Gengar to sleep. If I stay in and he doesn't do that, maybe he goes Pursuit Tar. Staying in as this Gengar can be not so great. So I'm thinking, if he does stay in, I'm going to sleep him. I think he's not going to stay in, and I'll sleep something else, and that's totally fine, because then something else is asleep, and I'm going to Pursuit the Gengar. But the problem with all that is that I'm not faster than the Gengar at all. I'm slower, in fact. They have the same speed stat, the same base speed total. They can get to 350, and this is important. This is a good thing to know when you're bringing Pokemon to a draft league. You should know how fast your Pokemon are, and I am not max speed Jumpluff. We are defensively invested. We've got HP. This thing was not meant to click a button in the face of a Gengar that could be clearly just clicking Ice Punch. I've thrown away our Sleep Sack. I've thrown away speed control on other things. And now,
more importantly than any of that, the Breloom counter.
Yeah.
The only thing that can confidently take every hit from Breloom.
Yeah. So now, kind of like the opposite of Game 2, where I caught the Choice Band Cloister boom with Missy. Now I'm playing down a Mon, but this Mon even it's fucking jump left, but it's so critical for our team to function as stall against their team. And the rest of this game is a fucking blur. I bring the goddamn T-Tar in, and some other chicanery is about to it's about to happen here. Shiny Lady in the chat saying Pursuit Tar was free ICL. I don't know what ICL stands for, but thank you, Shiny Lady, for your contributions.
They've said it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't. In case.
Inclusive. This is an all-inclusive chat. They get a crit Ice Punch. Probably not the end of the world. I'm clicking Pursuit again. They're gonna live that one, and they're gonna go down swinging because they're gonna die to Pursuit no matter what. So it's just gonna be another, and it's another crit Ice Punch. Just salt in the wound. I deserve to lose the jump left. Did I deserve double crit Ice Punch? Maybe. I probably did, honestly. And the Breloom is now here, and I have no spike sack or sleep sack anymore. So let's look at the team really quickly, because again, this is going to be a longer game. What I've got no jump left. What is my sleep sack? I end up picking Swampert. Obviously, it can't be fucking Blissey. I'm going to go Blissey, and then he's going to click a fighting move, and I'm going to... I guess I could have gone Blissey if I know he's clicking exactly Spore, and then Natural Cure out on his fighting move to get Swampert in, and then try to play from there. That's really scary, though. I don't love that. Is it okay to just go...
You know what your actual move was? You know what your actual move was?
What's that?
Your sleep sack is Tyranitar. It does shit into everything after it has this much health, and Gengar's already Pursuit trapped. You don't need it anymore.
True, and if he kills the T-Tar, I could just bring Zard in. I outspeed the Breloom.
Probably... You could do that. That's probably a good decision. But the other thing is just that, like, you're behind and you fucked up. This Breloom's really a problem. So you have to get a sleep sack right.
Okay.
Like, T-Tar is the only thing you can afford to get slept, and you have to outplay him from here.
And as we see, I don't. I agree with that. Well, he actually Sky Uppercuts. So
he could have fighting. That's what I was going to say, is that actually he has a free kill onto the T-Tar, so he should never Spore there. He should just Sky Uppercut and then Spore.
Yeah, so he gets
you
great value. You
should have gone T-Tar here.
Here, yeah, go here and then force him to Spore the T-Tar, and then we can try to claw our way out of the situation. Instead, I take the sack on Pert, and I'm thinking, fuck, Sky Uppercut is doing 37. It's probably a range of 2 at KO, depending on what he hits. And I'm like, I think I need this. I think. What do I do? Do I go Fori? I go Fori on another Sky Uppercut. We can take it kind of well. But
yeah, we don't get 3 hit KO'd, so...
I'm not feeling great right now. I'm spiking. He just did 34 and 39. I'm thinking I can live this. He misses one. And we have eliminated the Breloom. So now it's... I mean, the T-Tar is at 28%. Our Swampert is chipped and asleep. But if you don't think about that, I have a spike and we're both down 2 Pokemon. So let's fucking go. Let's play this out. He brings in Electrode. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, surely Electrode Boom from here doesn't kill. So maybe I should stay in. Maybe I should Toxic. Maybe I should Soft Boil, check what he does. He goes Skarmory.
I'm going to say just Flamethrower. Oh, okay, yeah.
Probably just... Flamethrower would have been really nice. I click Wish just to kind of check. It's Wish Protect Blissey. And we do get a Flamethrower here. I get roared out. And that's kind of nice because now Swampert gets healed up. I could stay here and try to burn a turn of sleep. Probably should have. Decide to bring Blissey in.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I guess I didn't want him to just get 3 layers for free knowing I don't have spin. So I was like, I'll let him get 1 and then threaten Flamethrower again. And then he has to... He can protect, but he's got to go somewhere sometime. And maybe there could be an actual debate about like how valuable it is. Like, am I okay taking 3 spikes if I get to wake up my fucking Swampert and it can be a Pokemon again?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, you're arguing that 3 Pokemon, none of which can beat Starmie, and 1 unconscious Pokemon dealing with 1 spike is a better position than 4 Pokemon, 1 of which can beat Starmie, or 2 of which can beat Starmie, because I guess Blissey can also, in theory. And Swampert has a good matchup with 3 spikes.
Starmie is here on the Flamethrower. I completely agree. I should have just let him get the spikes. That's the price I had to pay. He gets his Rapid Spin off. We didn't bring a Spin Blocker. We get a Toxic on the Starmie. And this is going to be a longer match. We haven't gotten very far into it. Bit of a spoiler there for you. Click Wish.
Okay. You should probably be skipping turns because it gets a little bit slow, but
yeah.
Flamethrower here or Toxic?
I'm going to go on Fast Mode. We flamethrower, get more chip on this Starmie. It's rapid spin,
So
so it's going to recover.
Just to describe how this works, Blissey can Toxic the Starmie and force it to eventually switch out, and then on the turn it switches out, it can hit flamethrowers. So the only thing we can't do is waste flamethrowers into the Starmie. As many flamethrowers as we can get have to go into everything else.
Right. And we get a...
and then maybe we can do it.
We get a seemingly favorable burn on Umbreon, and it's shown to be Curse Umbreon. So it's physical Umbreon, and now its offensive output has been completely neutralized. And to me, I got to go Swampert here. This is where I wake up Swampert. Instead,
You sack T-Tar.
I sack T-Tar, which maybe that's a worthy... Because now Swampert at least gets to come in and gets healed with the Wish. Also, depending on what he clicks, he was clearly trying to deny wishing up the T-Tar. So maybe... And that's the thing is, like, if I click... When am I ever going to be able to wish up the T-Tar? Like, almost never. Maybe if I'm in front of the Scarm, he's going to roar.
You just needed the sack. You just couldn't throw the sack away there for nothing.
I did throw the sack away for absolutely nothing. Fortunately, Shadow Ball is doing peanuts, so this is going to be a chance to try to wake the Swampert up. We burn another turn of sleep. Starmie's here. Okay. And I get a sub up. So we have 3 Pokemon.
We still have Sand Up.
We have Sand Up. Earthquake is a 2-hit KO. Hey. That's
Oh yeah, we can either sub or we can keep going Earthquake. Yeah, okay.
We subbed
because it's technically safer into the both recover and the
the
switch.
Scarm.
Fine.
I was like, there's no, he's got to recover.
I disagree with that. No, I disagree. I think that was a bad substitute.
Talk to me.
You're losing.
Okay, so I can't throw away health.
This is the idea of like polarizing in
poker.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like we're in this position where we're going to have to make a big bet to just tell them like, hey, this is either going to work terrible and you're going to switch into Scarm, or it's going to be fucking great and I'm going to get a bunch of chip on Starmie. Because the thing you have to realize is if he recovers and you Earthquake, he's at 20.
Mm-hmm.
He can't do this forever and he can't switch into anything.
Yeah.
Or he can't switch Starmie back into anything. So you just like you just gut it out. You're just like, look, Swampert's going to have to do it.
Yeah. And now Scarm's here. It's going to take a single surf to roar me out. Oh, I guess Focus Punch. I calc that Focus Punch does more, which is probably correct.
Also Ice Beam.
Oh, yeah. Also, it's Ice Beam and not even Surf. Okay. 33%. Not insane. Does something. This is out of Flamethrower range. This could protect here. It is going to protect.
Did you wish?
I didn't.
No.
Probably should have just wished.
Yeah.
Could have been pretty sick. And now I'm just wasting additional Flamethrower. I get a crit Flamethrower. Does not matter whatsoever.
And that's why if you had Earthquake to Starmie last time instead of subbing.
Yeah.
That's the game.
So many opportunities.
I didn't realize how close you were.
Because you stopped watching. You're like, I can't watch this anymore, Zets. But yeah, it just recovers.
Switched out too.
I'm like, dude, you're not gonna take an Earthquake. I'm taking big swings now. I'm taking the swings.
I love that you took the swing. It's probably not worth it to swing like that. It's probably just better to Earthquake and accept the Skarmory coming in. But like, all right, yeah, I like that you at least took the swing.
Umbreon is here, revealed to be HP fighting, doing nothing, wishing. That could have been a chance for me to try to fucking kill this Umbreon, which is going to be a thorn in my side for the rest of this match. Electro comes in. Flamethrower revealed to be a 3-hit KO.
Flamethrower again? Because there's no way he's going to boom on a Protect. Oh, okay. No.
Yeah, I've shown Protect, of course, by now. I had clicked it. No, I hadn't clicked it at all yet, actually. That was the first Protect of the game. And that's why I was like, honestly, this is it. This is my Protect. Because maybe
you're going to get.
I guess I could have... I just hit the wrong button, lmao. Electrode coming in on Blissey. There we go. We protected. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
They Ice Beam. We Toxic.
Oh yeah, actually, so I want to pause here and real quick ask you, how do you think you can maybe get out of this?
We still have like the Sunny Day Zard in the back.
Yeah.
It is Fire Blast, and Sunny Day Blaze Range Fire Blast does about 80 to Starmie. So setting that situation up when Starmie is that low probably wins.
That okay? Do you have anything else?
Besides that, I mean, Swampert can still try to 1v1 this Starmie, depending. If I get the Swampert in, I guess Skarm can always come in and spike and just roar it out. Like, Focus Punch doesn't do much. Yeah, I'm kind of struggling here. We have 17 Blissey Flamethrowers left, so that's good into the Skarm,
Your
but
only way to win this is wish the Swampert. If you wish the Swampert, you got a shot. If you wish the Swampert, it can stay in an Earthquake the Starmie,
that's true.
and Focus Punch does 32 into the Skarmory. So like it
That's
doesn't
progress
matter that
eventually.
that's not a lot.
Yeah.
All that matters is that you kill it eventually.
Yeah, it's more than leftover Protect Chip heal. And
Yeah.
and I can take advantage of his protects with Wish on Blissey. So that is absolutely. I should have wished right here, and then he can't. Well, I did wish right here, and he can't stop me from wishing up the Swampert.
Well, he can surf,
I stayed
and
in.
he does
Why did I stay?
because he can surf, and he.
Oh,
surfs and
I
could kill
calced
you.
it. I calced that Spike plus Surf could kill me from that range, and I'm like, fuck. How am I gonna do this?
So maybe wish again.
Because like the thing is with the Toxic, I decided to Flamethrower here so that I could delay it and force the Toxic. So that now if I wish here,
Okay.
but now Electrode could. Oh,
You got the crit.
I crit the Electrode. That's fortunate. He says, well, GG's from here unfort, thinking that he has lost. He Toxics me. I do wish. And he's probably got a
And
roar,
you-
so maybe I should Flamethrower. Because he wants to deny Swampert getting healed up, surely. It feels kind of like a 50-50. Because he could protect, and then I could
You
have...
had a bunch of 50-50s.
He does protect. I do Flamethrower thinking he's roaring me. But I guess roar is really, really bad because if he's wrong and he roars and I Flamethrower, he takes a lot of damage and Swampert has a chance to get healed up. So he's like mitigating the worst case scenario, and I feel that for him. So we're here. I Flamethrower into the Starmie yet again.
So can we go back one turn?
Yeah.
This was the last mistake. This was maybe not the last mistake. This was the last like terrible mistake though. This is Swampert every time. Because remember that thing that I told you, which was like, hey, if you think that a situation is bad, if you think that is a 50-50, don't just stop and be like, oh, it's bad if this happens. Like, do the line. Like, check what actually happens. If you have a wish up, if you switch into Swampert and he roars, you have a 50-50 chance of getting Charizard in. What health
Yeah.
is the Starmie at?
It's at 61.
You got it.
Yeah.
This is the whole point of the position. The worst case
Yeah.
scenario still has a 50% chance of being basically as good as you can ask for.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, so many fucking opportunities, man. And just not enough experience to on my end to see these lines in real time. And despite like a really poor start from me, we've put ourselves in a spot where we can still maybe do this. We continue flamethrowering into the Starmie, unfortunately. Shiny Ladian explaining that ICL is I cannot lie. Is that like Zoomer TBH? That sounds like Zoomer TBH to me.
Feels like it could be. Although I think I'm technically a Zoomer.
How old are you?
I'm 27. I think they said Zoomers
Oh,
are...
okay.
I think they said Gen Z is like 1998.
Okay. Right on.
Oh, good focus punch on the roar.
We get a little value. We get a little value as a treat. He toxics me
Wish.
as I wish.
Please, do you just learn the toxic here? On the protect? What did you click? Oh, you clicked protect.
I clicked
Sure, okay.
protect. Because protect,
I mean,
I can't
toxic
be
is fine.
roared out if I protect, right?
Yeah, but you kind of want to get roared out into Swampert.
True.
Although I guess Blissey was low, so no, maybe this is overall pretty fine.
I just refuse to pull the trigger on trying to wish up the fucking Swampert. I just won't do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I think as here's the sack on Swampert.
I just sack it.
And so here's yeah, I think you never even tried to wish up Swampert. I think you were just like, yeah, it's just a sack at this point.
Yeah, I just accept. I was like, it's never gonna happen, which isn't true. I had opportunities, did not take them, and now we've only got 2 Pokemon left. I get my Blissey frozen. It is wished up. That's something. They're going Skarm. I thaw out
You got a
immediately and get a
flamethrower.
flamethrower. Huge for us.
Going for flamethrower into the Starmie again is kind of insane, but okay.
Yeah, it honestly probably was. It probably was.
Hold on a second. Wait a minute. You switched Heart into Charizard there. Does that make sense? And you fucking Sunny Day. Oh wait, shit.
But he fucking moonlights, which heals more in the sun.
No, that was why I was saying you. I think maybe if you just flamethrower there, you're fine. That like, if you got massive chip on the Skarmory, and like if you leave the sand up, then you can keep chipping stuff.
Well, I expected him to just hard Starmie here. I didn't think he was gonna bring the Umbreon in. This is kind of crazy of him to bring it in on the Sunny Day. Like honestly, like killer play.
Sacking.
But he's
sacking at the Fire Blast.
He's trying to sack it.
Fire Blast. You should just kill it.
I should just kill it. But I was worried about him going Starmie. But I guess if he goes Starmie, like its Surf probably doesn't kill me from full.
You win. It doesn't matter if it kills you from full. It's Sun. It does half.
Yeah. So we're here. He's just Moonlight stalling my Fire Blasts. And it's not a good situation. I identify this and am not going to waste any additional Fire Blast PP. Fortunately, Focus Punch does something. He only has so many Moonlights. The burn is kind of helping the situation. They do bring the Starmie. We get a crit on the Starmie, but Sun is gone.
Okay. Sunny Day.
We're going to... why do I click Fire Blast there? Why did I not click Sunny Day?
Oh, you got the burn. Wait.
I'm getting, like, honestly kind of insanely lucky. I'm trying to sub, but he won't let me. And we're kind of at a standstill here. He does surf me down. I sub down. I need to do it one more time. And I think we're going to dance for a while. I think he's like, okay, you're clearly trying to go down to a berry. You don't have leftovers. I'm going to get the Starmie out. We healed the Starmie up. This is also going to give him an opportunity to heal the Umbreon. So I'm focus punching. I suppose I should have clicked Sunny Day at that point. I have 7 of them.
Sunny Day so many turns ago.
Yeah. Crit focus punch. Like I'm getting hacks, but I'm not playing well enough to convert any of it. There's another Fire Blast without Sun. What am I doing?
Yeah, I'm actually very curious because you're betting that he's not surfing anymore, right? You're saying I'm not going to click substitute because I think you're going to surf.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you're going to surf, and you're not clicking Sunny Day to actually get progress.
I should have just clicked Sunny Day. Not my best. They recover. I'm putting a Toxic on him because he doesn't have a 2-hit, so I just want to put a timer on him. I guess he's going for a freeze, or just conserving PP. I'm trying to hit something on the switch in. I should have just wished, I think.
Do it now. You should have flamethrower now. Good. Oh god, that's such a bulky Umbreon.
Yeah, but we can't kill it from
All
this.
you have.
This thing can't hit me though. So this is where I can sub. I've got the speed. I'm faster. I'm clicking Sunny Day. He recovers, which I think is a mistake. He should have just tried to kill me. Fire Blast does 91%. If I hit a Fire Blast, despite it all, I win, and I don't. I missed the Fire Blast. I did not deserve to win this game. So that's fine. And from here, it's just PP stalling my flamethrowers. Eventually, he gets Skarmory in and is able to get a Toxic. And there's really nothing I can do. We can go hyper fast. But yeah, just
skip turns. It's faster than hyper fast.
An absolute clinic in how to lose. Yeah, I'm just getting PP stalled. It's very uneventful.
Matchup. A really good matchup in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I somehow engineered a situation. I mean, I think that recover while I Sunny Day'd down to the Lychee barrier, whatever the fuck it was probably a mistake. But we lose this one. We were up 2-0. I was feeling great. And a 100-turn saga, we go down. They say GG, well played in the chat. I'm so sad. I give them a GG, and I leave. And I'm so sad because now I have to be the #1 player in the freaking pool in order to guaranteed make it out. If I'm 3-1, I should make it out. I was looking at how everybody else is doing, and I noticed that the #1 player, point this out if I can find them, SP Funk M. Here's their team. they had lost to somebody else in one of their first 2 matches. So I'm like, oh my God. Like, I looked at the way that the whole pool was turning out, and I'm like, if I win this, I still win the pool. I have a chance. If I don't, I'm 2-2. I could have a good differential. I lost 3 here. I was +9. I was down to +6. And I'm like, okay, as long as I don't like get 6-0'd, I should have a shot. But I don't want to like play for that. I want to play for the win. So Benji and I were trying to construct something that could win. He's got Metagross. He's got a Charizard of his own that we got to deal with. He's got a Blissey. There's some similarities here. He's got Venusaur with Sleep. He does have Doug, so he's got some answers to our Blissey. He's got Meta. He's got Doug. We got through the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth original soundtrack, and now it queued up a Rocket League streamer. So you have to give me 1 second here, folks. Let's just rock the original Final Fantasy VII. There's a lot of things coming for my Blissey. He's got some solid defensive pieces. This Slowbro, very solid answer to our Charizard, which was going to be a primary win condition. Benji, you and I were discussing what to do. What's going to be like the main game plan? What's the primary win condition? And I suggested Belly Drum Charizard because I've been working on a Belly Drum ladder team. I've streamed with it, I think, once. And I don't think you were listening. And then you started continuing to talk about some other Zard. And then like 2 minutes later, you're like, wait a minute. Drum Zard just wins, doesn't it? And I'm like, yeah, I just said that. And then you like kept going, and we developed this team. HP Ghost hits the world that Earthquake doesn't hit. It hits Slowbro, it hits Solrock. Earthquake at +6 can hit Venusaur. Ultimately, we realized.
Remember what the first version of this Charizard was?
The first version, it was because it was HP Bug. Originally we were running HP Bug, and we were like, okay, +6 HP Bug does not kill Charizard, so we need to get Chip on Charizard. We need a Spike. We need to get Chip on Slowbro, and then eventually you were like, wait, we're literally idiots. HP Ghost hits Charizard neutrally, but also super effectively hits all the things that HP Bug also does. So pretty big optimization. Shiny Ledian, by the way, remarking tragic, some big misplays costed me. Very important observation. I hadn't considered that my misplays resulted in me losing, but I'm going to keep that in mind.
Honestly, some of those weren't misplays. Some of those were just like, it's a 50-50, get the 50-50 right. And
Yeah.
you got literally 0 50-50s right.
And
no, that's not true. You got 2. You got 2 flamethrowers right on switches to Scarm and Umbreon.
Right. And the burn on Umbreon was kind of nice, but also it meant I couldn't toxic it. So it could stay in forever.
I would argue that shouldn't have mattered, though, because you should have just killed it with Charizard.
Yeah.
When it was at like 10 health.
I guess I was worried about him just going to Star me and forcing me to waste a Fire Blast. But I lost that game. I did not deserve to win that game. Good stuff to my opponent. So we're like, okay, Drum, Hidden Power, Ghost, Charizard. How does this win? Slowbro is the bulkiest thing, and it's going to be the hardest thing for it to one-shot. It can't really one-shot it if it's like defensively invested. And again, we've been told that this player, SP Funk M, apparently like top 15 draft player, very strong, is going to recognize that like, okay, if they go Drum Zard, that like kind of annihilates my team unless I do X, Y, and Z. So they're going to recognize the threat. They're going to come prepared. They're going to have something for us. Worst case scenario, if it's super bulky Slowbro, we need to get it down to like 78 or something. I might be spreading misinformation. Maybe it was like 82. It was something. We need to like not breathe on it. We need to freaking chip this thing. So getting a spike up with Fori, huge. Very helpful towards that end. Toxic Earthquake, Sub-Surf, Swampert meant to hit Blissey. Missy is here to T-Wave something to also potentially help Zard get this set up. And by the way, the way that the Charizard set works, we get it in front of something and they have such that they have to switch. If we get in front of like a Venusaur, for example, or like maybe a Metagross, if we know they're going to switch, we sub. We Belly Drum on the next turn as they break the sub. We go down to Salic. We're +6. We outspeed the world. And hopefully this combination of HP Ghost and Earthquake coverage can 6-0 the entire team. Again, we need a little bit of chip. I think if they put defense on Charizard, we might have needed some chip on the Zard as well, because there's a chance that HP Ghost doesn't one-shot. But that's basically the situation here. We have a pretty standard like Wish, Soft Boiled, Ice Beam, T-Bolt, Blissey to support the rest of the team. Maybe help Charizard out. The way this works with Zard, by the way, is we could be wrong once. We could sub one time if they don't switch, and then later we can try to get a raw Belly Drum in a separate situation. Maybe we've T-Waved something with Missy, and we have to play to the 1/4. Maybe they don't know it's Belly Drum at that point still, somehow, and they switch out as we raw Belly Drum. Still get the Salix, still works. We have Sub Punch, Crunch, Flamethrower Zard for some stuff. Benji, what am I missing on this one?
Let's see. Counter Fortress was meant for Hidden Power Fire Metagross to Oko it.
Right.
Let's see. Toxic is on Swampert because it lets it 1v1 the Slowbro.
Mm-hmm.
The Misdreavus can actually kind of get some Mean Look Perish Song working because like if they know it's Thunderwave, then the primary switch in is actually Blissey, and if you get rid of Blissey, then like that's probably a pretty annoying thing gone.
Absolutely. Scooty McBooty, the Missy set looks so silly in a vacuum. Yeah, this isn't a team that you're going to be queuing up on the ladder anytime soon, I'll tell you that.
And the most important part of the Misdreavus, it is the automatic switch into Venusaur.
Yes.
Every time.
Yes, it is. It like before, it has Sleep Talk, so this is our primary Sleep Sack. We've tried this a couple times. We have not been able to Sleep Sack the Sleep Talk Pokemon yet.
We've only tried it once.
Well, yeah, because I threw away the Jump Bluff, is what I'm getting at. We could have done stuff with the Jump Bluff someday, but we didn't. Anyway, we also are leading with the Zard as like a bit of a gambit to bluff not Belly Drum. The idea was if we're leading with it, we're kind of representing that it's meant to get progress right now in the early game. Knowing that we're probably going to switch it out early despite that, just kind of make its presence known, and maybe that will allow us to get the setup a little bit more easily later on. So this is for all the marbles. I think if SP Funk won this, they would have been 2-2. I would have been 2-2. It could have come down to head-to-head then, and then they would have been the 1 seed in our pool, I believe. And I think at this point, nobody else in the pool should be capable of making it to 3-1. So this is pretty much it. And they decide to lead Venu. Benji, you and I have talked about this game at length. And I'm thinking, well, I can't really click anything because I'm Belly Drum Charizard. We talked about how we're going to be switching out. I decide to go Missy. In case he's an insane person and clicks Sleep Talk. Of course he can't do that here because I am representing just regular old Fire Blast, Special Attacker, Sub Punch Charizard, and he needs to get out of the way of that. You pointed out, what is his team? Again, his team... Why can't I grab this? Sorry, guys. There we go. His team's right here. What is he going to go against our Charizard? His main switch-ins are going to be Blissey, Slowbro, and...
Maybe Charizard.
Maybe his own Charizard. Right. So we have a Pokemon that answers all those three in our own Blissey. That would have been a pretty good decision. Didn't make that one.
There's actually something even more important than this.
Okay.
So why did we lead Charizard?
To bluff not Belly Drum.
Okay. Based on the fact that we just switched out on a Venusaur, that actually makes it less likely
that we're not Belly Drum.
So, yeah, because here's the thing. If you have a Charizard in on a Venusaur, that's literally as good a position as you get.
Right.
So if you are going to switch, and it is an offensive Charizard, it's only if the matchup that you think you're gonna get is better. Which means you cannot switch defensively into this Venusaur.
True.
Ever.
True.
And Misdreavus was the defensive switch into Venusaur.
Right.
If you really want to convince him that that's an offensive Charizard, or that's a sub 3 attack Charizard,
right,
then you have to do something that actually covers the switch offensively, or just like overall.
And they do go Charizard. I was told by some people that watched this match in a separate Discord server on Draft that they thought, okay, he switched out the Charizard that represents Belly Drum. So apparently we failed in our Gambit, which is unfortunate. We have a Missy in front of a Charizard now, and we've talked at length about this. preparing for their Charizard and all the possibilities of what this could be. I am terrified of sub here. I'm worried. And again, we have Missy. I'm slower. Yeah, I have T-Wave. I am not clicking T-Wave slower into a Zard that is much of the time simply going to be subbing. I can't afford to do it. Our line here is to go to Blissey. If he subs, the Blissey is designed to break the sub, take a focus punch, and win the 1v1 from that position. But he doubles back to the Venusaur. And I'm
fine. We have a hard Venusaur switch.
We do. We could go back to Missy here. I'm thinking, what could he can leash see me if he wants. I'm not that worried about that. I can switch out all the same, just like if he sleeps me. If he sleeps me, I could go to Missy the following turn. If he double sleeps, that's fine. We have Sleep Talk. If he doesn't double sleep, then we can click T-Wave and something has to get T-Waved and we get permanent progress for the rest of the game. Unless they go Doug, but we're levitating. So
yeah, I like Ice Beam here because it covered the miss, it covered the Leech Seed, and you're still in the same position even if the sleep hits. You just get to switch into Mischievous.
In best case scenario, he misses the Sleep Talk. We hit a freeze on the fat frog monster. Very, very unfortunate for my opponent. I apologize for that. I will admit I did not apologize in the game chat at any point in this game because I was too locked in. So now I'm thinking, okay, well, interesting. What did I do here? Let's see, what did I do? He brings his own Blissey in, and I go Fori. I'm thinking, okay, well, this is as good a chance as any to get Fori in. We know most of the time we get Fori. We're going to be switching out to Scout, whatever is in front of it, to see if it has fire coverage, because basically anything on his team could potentially have fire coverage, specifically to deny Fori, because I do not believe he has spin. He doesn't have spin. So any spikes are permanent. He's heavily incentivized to be able to pressure this Fori at not all times, but much of the time. So I know most of the time I'm switching out. I've got the Fori in. I'm going own Blissey on Hidden Power. And in the moment, I was like, oh, cool, I got out of the way of Hidden Power Fire. It wasn't until later I realized, well, Blissey gets Flamethrower and Fire Blast, so that's not Hidden Power. So maybe that's HP Grass. Of course, they know I have a Swampert. Maybe they suspect I'm going Swampert. So probably, at this point, a strong player could conclude trying to catch the Swampert coming in. But we'll probably learn more about that HP stat, or HP, later on. I am, in fact, Hunk status.
Yeah. What's the best click that Blissey can click into Blissey?
Toxic.
Their Blissey, yeah.
And we talked about this. I do end up going Swampert. We'll see what they click. Benji said, our Swampert is designed to mess up their Blissey, I have to get it in on not Toxic. As long as they are not clicking Toxic, I can get Swampert in. We're chilling. We make 101 health substitutes if it has Seismic Toss. But again, it just potentially represented HP Grass, so I'm not even going to be able to get those subs up anyway, if that is HP Grass, right? And like you said, he's probably clicking Toxic. But what does he click? He clicks Toxic, misses it. Missed the Sleep Powder, missed the Toxic. That's a bit unfortunate. And again, at this point, I still think
4%.
No,
he's at worse than that. He's not at a 4% outcome right now. He's at a 0.4% outcome right now.
It's kind of insane. He's gotten pretty unfortunate up to this point. Missing 2 moves, getting frozen on his Venusaur. You hate to see that kind of thing. But he missed Toxic. I luck out. Cool. I'm here. And I still think that's HP Fire. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let's just get a sub because you don't have anything that can break my sub. If you don't think I'm subbing, maybe you click Toxic. I get a free sub, and then we're going to town. He's faster. I did not know he'd be faster. He sped crept his Blissey specifically so that he could Toxic my Swampert. Kudos to you in the builder. That was a great call from you. We did not think about that. But he missed a second straight Toxic. Devastating. And now I get a sub up. So he's thinking probably Focus Punch, right? So from this position, as sad as it is for him, he's going slow, bro. Unfortunately for him, it's not Focus Punch Swampert. It's just Earthquake. So he took a lot more chip on this than he was intending on taking. And now Zard can just kind of go in. This is more than enough chip for Zard to one-shot this, even if it's super defensively invested. And we know, by the way... Down, what's that, Benji?
Even without a spike down, I think.
Even without a spike down.
Need a spike anymore.
I don't think we need a spike. I think we can, if we find the opportunity, I think we can gun it. And And additionally, we also know that it's not fully physically invested because of this Earthquake roll. So I'm feeling really good now. I'm behind a goddamn sub. It's turn 8. We have one of his Pokemon frozen, and I'm basically already at my win condition, provided that I can get the Belly Drum Salac off safely. I'm here with Swampert, and there's an argument for what I could have done. I probably could have went for Earthquake here, and Benji pointed out, look at the screen. This could be a 2-hit KO from here. I did 36%. He's at 70. If I do 38, he goes down to 32. Chip heals back up to 38. So, I don't know how high roll this 36 was. So I didn't love it. I think it could have been fine. And, there's crit opportunities. I can't miss. So going for Toxic and missing, I could see wanting to go for the Earthquake, and perhaps it was the better play. I also thought, though, if I hit this Toxic, this thing is basically never going to be able to chip heal such that it can live the Charizard plus 6 HP Ghost.
So the other reason why Earthquake is better there is because if let's say you do get a high roll, or you just represent that you could kill him with a high roll.
Right.
Then you're at, what is this, like 94 or whatever, and he's at 30 whatever, 36.
Yeah. Right.
You just get sub for free because he basically has to switch out.
Right, because you're
Swampert behind a sub.
The Slowbro's too important. So then I'm still behind a sub, and something else is going to have to take a big hit. Yeah, I think that would have been a good line. This is the line we took. We missed Toxic. He gets a bit of reprieve. Everybody's missing Toxics here. He's dealt with the sub. We're here. I'm thinking Blissey. And you disagreed with this too, right? You said Missy is a better switch in here?
I think Missy was better here if... No, I guess, yeah, I think there's an argument for a lot of stuff, but, like, Blissey is fine. Blissey is fine.
I thought it covers basically anything this thing can do. If I go Missy, like, he could Toxic me, I guess. Maybe I was worried about, like, Toxic, and, like, Blissey answers legitimately basically anything this thing could click. Either way, we're Blissey. He doubles to get Venu in. So he's trying to find some turns to thaw this, and I'm thinking this is it. Like, if you don't thaw and I get the Charizard in, it's fucking over. You have to fucking switch. I get the sub up. I get Belly Drum. We're Salac. We're plus 6. Your Slowbro's at 76%. It's not even defensively invested. It should be GG. But then, miraculously, he thaws. He clicks Sleep Powder and fucking misses it, dude. This guy, I honestly feel so bad for him. Like, this is not, like, fair. Basically, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Missed 2 Sleep Powders, missed 2 Toxics, got frozen, and ended up facing off against a Charizard set that is designed to destroy his entire livelihood. We've also chipped the most important thing because we had Earthquake rather than Focus Punch. So that was kind of just like that's like a 50-50 spot where he doesn't know the coverage. He's trying to mitigate it as best he can. I think that was a good play by him. I will add, I got pretty unlucky in our OSU Melee Draft League games. And the luck came around for me this time. It really did. And this is the last reveal of the game. Blissey reveals it was HP Rock all along. HP Rock to deal with this Charizard. Can you believe it? Well, it doesn't matter. I get the Salac, and at this point, they leave, and they make me wait 300 seconds, and 300 seconds later, I'm the number 1 seed in my pool, man. We made it. We qualified for the freaking bracket. We hacked our way through I think a top 15 player, and they didn't play their match this morning. I think they're very salty. And I guess the match before my match with SP Funk went even worse. I guess they were even more unlucky in that one somehow.
Yeah, unfortunate might not begin to describe their draft pool.
And some Shawnee Lady asking if I said my bad in the chat.
Not once.
I don't know that I did. I probably should. Can I?
Way too focused.
I was locked in. Can I say this? In the Discord server chat where our pool exists, I did apologize for hacks, but I think they had left the server before then. So
I could give you shit. I could give you shit for something. I won't, but I could.
Yeah. I think I know what you're getting at. No, I should have said my bad. I should have said my bad probably on average 2.5 to 3 times. He got 0 my bads. And for that, I'm sorry. SP Funk, you deserve better. And I did you a little dirty, as did RNGesus. But that's that, man. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the pool.
I wanted to say something really quick about that last turn where you switched Charizard in.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So, in my head, so this is a very interesting thing, right? If you had asked me beforehand,
yeah,
would you, if you could right now take an 85% chance to win the game for Zets, would you take it? And I thought about it and I was like, yeah, I would. That sounds great.
Yeah, we cashed it in.
And this is an 85%. This is an 85% chance to win because it's 20% that they thaw, and then only 75% of 20% that they hit the sleep powder.
Exactly.
So 85% to win. However, there is an argument that this position is so good for you. Also, this freeze is probably better for them than it is for you, considering that it's a one-turn freeze. Like, if he knows that it's a one-turn freeze, it's probably better for him to have gotten frozen than not, because it gives you a chance to.
Do you hear yourself? If he knows it's a one-turn freeze?
No, I mean, with the benefit of hindsight is what I'm saying.
Okay, if we know he's about to thaw, should I switch the Charizard into just a non-frozen sleep powder? The answer is going to be no.
No. But what I'm saying is the fact that he's frozen gives you the opportunity to make that mistake. Or not even a mistake, just get punished. It gives you the opportunity to get punished in a place that, like, you can't get punished normally.
So you're saying, like, 85% chance I win, but the 15% chance is I kind of fucking lose. Like, I'm sending it all or nothing. Because if the Zard goes to sleep, that's it. I don't have fucking aromatherapy. Do we have Wish on the Blissey? We do. Yeah. We do. So maybe we could try to find opportunities to wake it up and wish it up later. That's complicated. That's going to give him more chance to try to chip heal the Slowbro out of range. So
it's going to give him chances to try and outplay you. And
right. Which I think he would probably have done, to be honest. If he hits that sleep, he's going to win the game.
This is the question. Do you have an 85% chance to win from this position if you don't send it? And I think the answer is no. So I think the correct answer is actually send it and feel okay with how good or bad it goes.
Yeah, and up to this point,
I think you're right.
Lucky Lucas saying it stops me from thunder waving if I happen to have it. We do have thunder wave on the Missy. So I guess that's what they're saying is that's one aspect of the freeze that is vaguely, arguably beneficial for them.
All I'm saying is that, like,
well, that was somebody in the chat. Lucky Lucas said that.
I know, but all I'm trying to explain is the idea that, like, the Ice Beam freeze is bad because he can't plan on it getting thawed, but he also has to sort of treat it like it's going to thaw at any moment.
Yeah, he has to play it such that it's about to thaw. Right.
Yeah, but the fact that it's frozen gives you additional opportunities to get punished, and considering the fact that it did end up being, like, basically the idea is, if you could choose to get frozen by Ice Beam and get a one-turn thaw, that is better than not getting frozen by Ice Beam. 100% of the time.
Right, because this lulls me into a false sense of security, thinking that I can send this win condition, and that allows him to flip the tables and get the sleep off. And in
addition, he missed the first sleep, which fucking sucks. He missed the second sleep, which fucking sucks even worse. And he missed 2 Toxics, which meant that Swampert, which should have lost, won. It should have lost the 1v1 to Blissey. This is an insanely unlucky game.
This is wild. This is honestly one of the most insane games I've seen. And I kind of wish that they would have stuck around and let me click the 6 buttons. It would have been fun for me. I get that it would not have been fun for them. I don't know what they had in the back. I don't know what they EV'd. Apparently, they're telling me that if this Slowbro is at... I mean, they could have brought in sack things. They could have chip healed it up multiple times. They could have
chip healed back the Slowbro if it were max HP, max defense.
But it wasn't.
Not, because it took too much from Earthquake.
Yeah.
So I don't think it matters.
I am surprised, though. I mean, I guess he just went into this saying, if it's Drumzard, I'm going to outplay him. And despite everything, he still nearly did. He had after the thaw, he had a 3/4 chance, a 75% chance to completely nullify our entire game plan. And and likely outplay me over the course of like several dozens of turns. But unfortunately, sometimes the game we play just does not go your way. And
one, that's very true. But two, do you remember what I said right before you got into this game?
one thing, I think this was the advice that you gave me because I was still a little sad from the game the previous day. Because I played game 3 on Friday, played game 4 yesterday, which was Saturday. And you likened getting hacked in Pokemon to a situation that we know in Super Smash Bros. Melees. Like, what if I miss a ledge dash? What if I accidentally like throw away an entire stock? If you're playing in Melee, it's 4 stocks to 4 stocks. So losing a whole stock for virtually nothing, that's 25% of your health as a comparison. Like, is the right response to get... I'm sorry?
It's at a Pokemon and a half.
Right. It's like 1.5 Pokemon. What's the correct response? Is it to get sad and to like think, oh, well, surely I'm going to lose now because I just lost so much value. I'm not going to be able to outplay this player. Or do you get mad and say, fuck this game. Fuck that just happened. I'm winning anyway. And I think I was in the right headspace to, if he got that sleep on that Charizard, I would have fought it out to the bitter end. I don't know if I would have won. I don't know if I would have lost. But like,
probably wouldn't have gotten 6-0 though, and
no,
mattered.
I don't know if differential will matter because I don't think it's possible for anybody in my pool to get to 3-1, and that's what I want to take a look at now. This is my pool.
But the thing that I actually wanted to get at was
Please.
something different. I wanted with the last thing that the thing that I said before that mentality thing was actually remember your goal is to beat him without ever having Charizard touch the ground.
Right.
You're
right.
not trying to position a Charizard win. You're trying to position a win. And if it happens with Charizard, cool. But if it doesn't, that's actually ideal.
And it's not, because Zard was not the only win condition on the team. We had other paths to victory. But, again, I'll take it. Sometimes you luck out, and I am happy to be the beneficiary of luck. A wise man once said, and my grandfather used to say often, I'd rather be lucky than good. And this time I was definitely luckier than I was good. Scooty McBooty, you blame your controller modder if you miss a ledge dash. The only time I paid for a actual modded controller. I didn't even test it. I just assumed it would work because I trusted the person that I got it from. And I still do trust them as a friend and a person. But it like did not work for me. I'm not even saying that it was a bad job, but it didn't feel right. It felt not calibrated to the controllers I was used to. Like my PC drops weren't working, and I like lost like horribly in a tournament that I should not have done as poorly in. That said, we're here. We are looking. Lucky Lucas with sub Bellizard. Do you run HP flying fighting move? HP flying. Well, if you're HP flying, you can't be fighting move because you wouldn't be belly drum focus punch because you just get outsped and die. You'd have to be HP fighting.
He means brick break. I think he means brick.
Oh, of course. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can get brick break. There's a lot of combinations. If you're on the ladder, I think Benji has argued that it basically has to be Earthquake Rock Slide, and I will tell you, I've been working on a belly drum Zard team for the ladder that is not Rock Slide Earthquake, much to the dismay of my coach, who knows much more than I do.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's many options. You're right. It could be flying ground, flying fighting, rock ground. There's more than one. It's just like it's basically one of those three. And depending on the team that you build, it's a little bit easier to build a team that's trying to do rock ground than the other ones, I think.
Exactly. And yeah, Lucky Lucas asking, what does HP Ghost hit that flying doesn't? And as Shiny Lady said, in this case, it's Slowbro and Soul Rock. The building it's vastly different between like draft versus a specific opponent whose team you know, and the ladder. On the ladder, you need to be able to cover like practically anything, which is why Rock Slide Earthquake is recommended because nothing truly like what resists rock and ground. Is there anything?
Yeah, there's Claydol.
Oh,
and,
okay, Claydol.
Flygon and Flygon.
Well, we're here. I went 3-1 with a 12 differential. Now Bob Joe Carl is 2-1, can make it to 3-1. But fortunately, their differential is -4. So even if they make it to 3-1, I have the head-to-head over Bob Joe Carl. I only lost to Z-Pice, and my differential would be better. So I should remain the 1 seed. As of right now, the 1 seed is actually kicking the Asgard. I think that was my...
Breloom. I forgot about Breloom.
Was this my first opponent? Yeah, this is the first person I played.
Oh, they finished pretty good.
Yeah, 2-2 with a 4 differential after because I got a 4 differential on them. Let's go, wee Scotty. Kicking the Asgard. Every time I see the Asgard,
differential after you.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if this is because SP Funk had a match this morning. I don't know who it was against, but they didn't show. So somebody got a free +6 differential from that. But hey, if you're the beneficiary,
I got a free +6 differential.
I did. We both got free +6 differentials from a player who probably should have cleaned the pool and went 4-0. But that's Pokemon. That is Pokemon. What happens next? I don't know the timing on all this. Play-ins are going to happen for people who are not in the top 2. It's kind of complicated. Look at this. Different numbers of people can make it out of pools depending on how solid your record and differential are. I think as long as you went at least 2-2, you're guaranteed to make it to play-ins. And your differential and all that other stuff can make it so that you have an easier or a harder play-in path to make it to the final bracket. I'm in the final bracket, and I think I have a bye since I'm the 1 seed. So Zets fans are fucking living it up right now. Again, could not have done any of this without Benji, literally carrying me with your team building and game plan advice. And I would encourage anybody who wants to get into Pokemon, just reconnect with somebody that you met one time in a totally separate interest. Make sure that person is one of the greatest Pokemon players of all time. And then also ensure that they're willing...
Don't say that. Actually, don't say that.
Ensure that they're willing to invest a ton of time and energy into making you less shit at the game. And maybe you two can luck your way into a 3-1 record at Emerald Open 5 pools, man. Let's fucking go.
Can we control find a Pawn and Woke to see what their records are?
Yeah, I think they're in different pools. We'll have to find them here. Woke. All right, Woke Fox 2-1 with a +3 differential. That's huge. He's at least going to be moving on to play-ins. And today's the last day for pools, so that last match is going to have to be today at some point.
Dude, okay. I got 2 boys that are the 1 seed in their pool right now. Let's go.
Yeah, Woke is currently the 1 seed. Who does he still have to play? He's played B, C, D.
I think Vesuvius.
Yeah, he's got to play Vesuvius, who's the final seed. 1-1 with a +1 differential. Let's look at that matchup. They got to
play 2 games today.
Yeah, they gotta get moving. That should help Woke because they won't be able to prepare to the extent that Woke will be able to focus in on just 1 team rather than 2.
I was about to say, if you look at the hours spent team building for or hours that a human being spent team building for you, Woke, and Apon's pools, I promise it's way more than the total number of human hours spent on any of your opponents.
Yeah, could be.
I'm very curious where Apon is. I hope he's number 1 as well.
Yeah, let's find out. I don't know that Apon has been doing quite as well. I hope I'm wrong about that, but I think he's trying to make a little bit of a comeback here, and I think it's possible. Apon. Oh wait, no, 2-1.
2-1, yeah.
2-1, and currently second in the pool, and let's see, B did already play the person who's 3-0, and that person has a 6 differential.
That's the person he should have fucking won. Oh man,
I didn't see the game. What happened?
I built a dope matchup, dude. I had 2 or no, I had 1. Okay, long story short, I had a Raikou that was 252 HP, 232 defense, and it was timid to outspeed Dragonite and Quillfish and Adamant Miltank and stuff. It was slower than Starmie.
Slower than Starmie.
That didn't matter.
Right.
And slower than Electabuzz. Didn't matter. It beats both of those.
Right. My guy.
It also was a Calm Mind Slowbro, specifically to trick the Starmie to come in and then switch Raikou in on the Thunderbolt. because this guy doesn't have any electric immunities. So it was just going to chip the whole team down. And what happened was a pawn went Slowbro, calm-minded, the Starmie switched in, perfect. He calm-minds a second time, not sure why, we didn't have coverage for the Starmie, and then he got crit and died.
That sucks.
It does suck. But then he still had the game because the Raikou set was EV'd to be so physically defensive that one time he hard switched it in on a Quillfish, and the Quillfish exploded on the Raikou.
And it
He switched
lived?
Raikou into it, and it lived.
Oh my
And it
god.
rested back to full.
Oh my god. No.
a-
And he still lost.
No.
That's amazing.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
but I'm just
and
like, all this happened, and he still could have won after all of it. Yeah.
What happened was the Regice comes in as the Raikou rests, and it ice beams, and it crits the first try. So that did like 60.
Yeah.
And so he was at like 47%. So he can't survive 2. But remember the Raikou set, it's rest talk calm mind. So if he just calm minds twice and gets even just 1 calm mind, he lives, rests again, and the game's over.
If he sleep talks twice and gets 1 calm mind, right?
Yeah.
Right. But he
switched.
Oh, he didn't try.
He switched it out because he was scared.
Yeah.
And then later on, the mill tank was in, and it was at like 5% health or something, and he could have gone into Raikou there because the mill tank only had body slam, and it was max HP, max defense. So it did, I think, like 18 to Raikou. So you're just guaranteed to burn a sleep turn. You burn another one somewhere else, and then you rest, and you're back to full, and you win. Because Pythons did not bring an explosion Regice, so he didn't have any way to beat the Raikou anymore if it healed back up to full.
Yeah.
But in the end, Upon ended up sacking the Raikou and didn't quite get there. But I was so sad. The matchup was so good. He absolutely. It was rough. It was rough. The crits and the
timely crits.
The timely crits.
That's crazy.
But he's still kicking butt.
The 1 seed of their pool played 0 matches apparently. So everybody got floated a little bit of differential, which if everybody gets that differential, it basically just means that there's 4 people in this pool. Though that really does help them when trying to get seeded in the play-ins against other people who actually had to play matches. So that is fortunate for these players. Upon has 1 more match, and who will that be against?
Wait a minute.
It's against Pierogi. Upon
Pierogi. Oh yeah. I have something in chat saying, so Pierogi has been kind of not scheduling with Upon.
Okay.
Despite the fact that it's the last day to do so.
It kind of is, yeah.
And I referenced the unfortunate doesn't begin copy pasta.
Oh, right.
Tooled
by my opponent refusing to schedule, and good. Yeah. It's such a good copy pasta, man. It's one of the goats.
It's an elite copy pasta.
It's like it's broken containment of competitive Pokemon just enough. I think there's some like normies who would be like, "Oh, I've seen that one. I don't really know what that is," but it's not like Wombo combo status, but it's
I mean, almost nothing is Wombo combo status.
Wombo combo is like a whole nother level. But yeah, there will be some awesome matches later on.
Yeah. If we look at this matchup, Raikou's actually goated because it only needs Thunderbolt HP Water for the Steelix, and it hits everything, annihilates everything. So that's really good. If I remember correctly, I saw Zard was a good matchup into this. It has to deal with Slowbro, but if it just clicks HP Electric, then it's pretty good. It can get the 3-hit KO, so if it hits it once, then the next time it subs, Slowbro just dies.
Yeah.
Typhlosion is annoying, but I think I gave him an Earth, or it doesn't matter. I don't know what I gave him because they haven't played their match. I think it was Focus Punch.
I kind of like how Typhlosion gets Thunder Punch, and then you can run like additional like hidden power coverage, like HP Ice or something. It's just the same thing as Electabuzz. You got T-Bolt, Ice Punch, and then it can be HP whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, exactly. Except Typhlosion has the same special attack as Charizard and Blaze Fire Blast, which is a lot scarier than whatever Electabuzz has going on with its ability.
Hey, Electabuzz is doing his best, okay? He's not even his final form yet, which also was like kind of not overly impressive. It had, I guess my understanding was like in Gen 4, like everyone was like, oh cool, like Electivire, but then it kind of fell off after a while.
Yeah, it would have been a really, really excellent UU Mon. Like maybe even ban worthy.
In Gen 3,
but
if Electivire
in
existed?
Gen 4, if
Well, it
Electivire
does
in Gen
exist in Gen
4,
4.
no, okay, let me get it out. Electivire in Gen 4
I'm
could
sorry.
have been a really broken UU mon, maybe even UUBL. It is not because it is a fucking unusable OU mon because everybody spammed it when it was the
Mm-hmm.
active generation.
I'm sorry. I see what you're getting at. So now nobody can even use it because it sucks in OU and
Yeah,
it's banned from UU. We should
such sad.
can we campaign to get his status updated to UU so our boy can thrive once again?
Honestly, I would kind of love that because then Snorlax could be dope as fuck in UU. Because that actually no, that would just get banned. Oh well.
Well, that's a conversation for another day. Interesting question that I don't want to spend too much time on because I gotta go. Um, okay, hypothetical from Lucky Lucas. I think this is interesting. Do you think am I more likely to be ABR or McMegan if I'm playing 6-4 or beating Zane slash HBox if they give me a homie stock?
100% McMegan and ABR, easy, not
Yeah,
even close.
it's not close because as like as goated as ABR and McMegan are, at the end of the day, it's still Pokemon, and variants can swing any single friendly in my direction. I'm also washed as fuck at Melee. At one point, I have a short story I'll tell sometime about me playing Zane in bracket and kind of like going in for the first stock, but then still getting 4-stocked. This is actually so impressive.
Hilarious.
It was Full Bloom 3, I think, maybe Full Bloom 4. I still got the freaking. I'm like that dude. I'm OG as fuck. With the I just showed the wristbands on stream, Benji, but I won a couple matches. I'm facing Zane. It's Falco Marth Battlefield. And I swear, like,
Falco back then?
yeah, I'm a Spacey main. I was a Spacey dual main.
Oh, I think Pawn told me that you played Falcon, or that maybe Gabe
Oh,
thought you played Falcon.
I mean, like, well, at Rube's Day, like, in the twilight of my Smash Prime, I would go Falcon, like, a lot at, like, locals.
Okay.
Shiny Lady, I'm sorry. We'll check out Hyper Offense replays soon. I gotta go, so we're not gonna have enough time to check out replays. But I'm gonna finish the story. I'm playing Falco. I was a Spacey main. All my best results are with Spaceys. On Battlefield, I swear I get 117% on Zane before I've taken 20%. And I'm feeling good. I'm like, okay, Zets, like let's close out this stock and then play with the stock lead and see what we can do. I get 4-stocked. I don't take that stock. He takes all 4 of my stocks from 120%, and he had barely touched me. He started like freaking power shielding everything, not even my lasers. I think this is at a point. This is in like 2019, I think, and he was like really zeroing in on like power shielding and doing shit out of power shield, and you could just tell he was going to be like one of the greatest to ever do it. I lose, and I'm like, okay, I'm just.
He was one of the greatest. That's so sick.
He was already so good too. But so game 2, I take him to FD with Falcon because I'm like, well, I'm not gonna win the fucking set. Let's just have some fun. And he power shielded so many of my fucking like full screen stomps and knees, and it was I can't even remember if I took a stock. I think I probably took one because I think I would remember if I got double 4-stocked. So I maintain that I think I took a stock, but yeah, Zane pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I would absolutely.
Megan or ABR, you could just get a freeze and 2 crits and win.
Yeah, I could. I mean, I don't care who you are. If you're ABR, if you're Jimothy, cool. If I freeze your Venusaur and you miss your sleep powder, and you also miss a different sleep powder, and also miss 2 other toxics, and I get belly drum Zard up, what does ABR do from this position? Explain to me that. There's no such checkmate in Melee.
Yeah.
There's always execution in Melee. There's always the chance to outplay. Even if you're on your last stock and you have 100%, you just got to lock the heck in and outplay the opponent like 4 times. Take your punishes as far as they're going to go. So put me up against ABR or McMegan with a 6-4 Pokemon lead any day of the week. I'm going to lose, but I'm going to lose less than if I got a homie stock from Zane or HBox. And I think that's going to do it. Benji, thanks for not just all the coaching, but for joining us on the stream. And thanks everybody who watches this shit. Not sure if I'm going to trim this up and put it into like a video. Also, Doodle Knot, thank you for joining and seeing the tail end of the stream. But Yeah, definitely gonna keep covering this tournament. Maybe I'll put some like commentated sets out of like the bracket for this, since ADV Revival 2 is like finishing up. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out like the right balance for the channel. Maybe streaming once a week is like in the card. Somebody asked earlier if I'm gonna stream next week. Probably. But thanks to everybody who watches this, and Benji, you're the GOAT.
If I could have one final word,
Please.
I'm really sorry, SP Funk. That was not a fair game.
You didn't deserve anything that happened to you, SP Funk. Please come back to us. You forfeited your earlier match today. Don't give up on draft. You're sick. You're a sick builder. And I saw some people in the server saying, "Oh man, like they left. I hope they come back. Hope they're okay." Dude, we've all been there. We've all been really upset at Pokemon, and it's unfortunate that I was the beneficiary of this, but yeah, not gonna ruminate it on it anymore. Good shit, everybody else, and we'll see you next time.